blackened fish, and island rice, topped with a fresh mango salsa. This dish will have you wishing you were on a plane to a tropical island. Watch Good Hoosier Cookin' this week on WIWU TV.
This is my Indy. What's yours?
Discover the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and more at Indy.org.
This is my Indy. What's yours?
Discover the Indiana State Museum and more at Indy.org.
This is my Indy. What's yours?
Discover the Indianapolis Museum of Art and more at Indy.org.
Welcome to Dick Luton Stadium here on the campus of Marion High School in Marion, Indiana. This is WIWU and the Grant County High School football game of the week. Along with Monty Smith, I'm Roger Alcock. And Monty, tonight we have the Marion Giants hosting the Richmond Red Devils, a North Central Conference battle underway tonight. And a very important game for the Giants in the sense that they need desperately to get that first conference win. But to do that, they're going to have to do a couple things, and the first thing they're going to have to do is take care of the football. Turnovers have really hurt them this year.
Yes, turnovers hurt them real bad. Their last game when they played Kokomo, they had like 7 turnovers in the second half, and that really killed the momentum. They couldn't respond, and Anderson.
Yes.
It was Anderson. Anderson just got away from them.
Well, in that game, Marion was on top, 21-3 at the half. 7 turnovers coming in the second half. A couple pick six, a muff punt that was returned for a touchdown. You cannot have those kinds of things and win a football game.
No, you got to eliminate making turnovers. Turnovers will kill you. If you don't have the ball, you can't score. You keep your defense out on the field too long, the guys get tired, and then they can't help you like that.
Well, speaking of defense, mentioning that, the defense is probably going to have to play their best game of the season because Richmond is a team that can really toss the football around. They'll spread it out. We know that Marion's strength is in their linebacking core. Mm-hmm. Their defensive backs are going to have to really step it up tonight.
Yes, this will be the first team that they play that actually really concentrates on throwing the ball. Most everybody else runs the wing T offense. Mm-hmm. And so you have 11 guys right there in the pocket. So
they're going to have to be ready to, to play. Talking about the Giants, getting back to them really quick, Trevino, the quarterback, a lot of skill there, but he's young. The tailback position, if he stays healthy, he's a big factor, but making good decisions and staying healthy and on the field, those are big for those two guys. Yeah,
Lorenzo is a real good quarterback. He's young. He started out as a freshman. He had to jump right into the fire as a freshman, and he's come a long way. If he keeps his confidence up, gains some experience, he'll be all right.
All right, well, it should be a good one here from Luton Stadium in Marion. Don't go away. When we come back, we'll have the kickoff right after this here on WIWU TV.
This week on Perspectives, we're talking about the Mississinawa Valley Band And our guest will be John Brain, who is the director and also one of the founders of the band. It's been 15 years since the Mississinawa Valley Band performed its first concert, and the people are still showing up in record numbers to hear the band. I'm Alan Miller. Join us this week as we explore a new perspective.
Welcome back to Dick Luton Stadium, where the Giants and the Red Devils are getting ready to kick this one off. Roger Alcock with Monty Smith back here on the Grant County High School Football Game of the Week on WIWU. First, we're going to take it down to the field, though, and we're going to check in with our sideline reporter for tonight. Tim Tedeschi had a chance to talk with Coach Vermillion.
Thanks, Roger. I talked to Marion head coach Ryan Vermillion just before the game, and he said he's looking for his offense just to be more consistent tonight. They had a lot of turnovers last week, and he's just looking to take whatever the defense gives them. On the defensive side of the ball, he said that the team had a pretty solid week of defense. This Richmond team likes to spread the ball out, but Coach said that they run the ball a lot more than you think. They run just a few plays, but they run them very well. Roger, back up to you.
Forward to checking in with Tim Tedeschi later on through the evening to get updates from down on the field. He mentioned the running game. We talked about in the pregame that Richmond is going to spread it out. We're going to put 4, maybe 5 wide receivers out in the field. But we do know that Parker Holland, their running back, pretty good tailback, the 5'9" junior. So you can certainly run the ball out of the spread. You know, it's not, some teams run exclusively out of the spread, but you can run or throw. Sounds like Richmond tries to do a little bit of both.
Yeah, there's some teams out there that have the West Coast type style defense, offense, and they throw the ball just to get the defense off kilter, so to speak, and then they will sneak a play in every now and then.
There you get a good look at Coach Vermillion there. Ryan Vermillion, Marion Giant alum. Of course, played back in the day. He probably came up through the 8th grade with Coach Monty Smith at one time.
Coach Monty Smith was in the U.S. Army at that time.
Well, we're just underway. A very short kickoff taken by one of the up men at the 32. Gets it out across the 40, and that's excellent field position for the Giants to start out their first drive.
Yes, sir. We started real good. Lorenzo bringing the troops out on the field. That looked like number 8.
Yeah, Cedric Johnson, the fullback, one of the up men blocking there on the kicking game, and gets the Giants in very good field position as we start this one off. Of course, Lorenzo Trevino, number 9, the quarterback for the Giants. He's a young guy, only a sophomore, 5'8", at 145 pounds.
Lorenzo, yes, he has a lot of confidence in himself. There he goes, keeps the ball there.
And, you know, that's the critical thing for a quarterback, whether you're a sophomore or you're a senior. You got to make good decisions, and that time he made a good decision on the keeper there.
Yeah, Lorenzo, on this style of offense is an option. He generally keeps the ball.
Take a look at the replay here. And that's the option we're talking about, Monty, where he can keep it. He can hand it off to the fullback, Cedric Johnson, or he can pitch it off to, maybe Will Collins, his tailback.
Yeah, on that particular play there, just like this one here, read the defensive end and see where he goes. At that time, he committed to Will, so he kept the ball again and tucked it and ran maybe a 4-yard gain.
Well, with that gain, it will set up a 3rd and, it's about 5 yards after that gain. 3rd and 5, so the first 3rd down for the Giants here. In talking with some of the Giant staff earlier in the week, they've got to do a better job of getting some yardage on first down so they're not in these 3rd and 5 and longer situations. Roll out to the left. Trevino under pressure. He got rid of the football just in time, but it's an incomplete pass. He had not much time there.
Yeah, number 82, there was a defensive lineman got in there on top of him pretty quick. The offensive line had to block a little bit better than that. They want to move this ball on the Richmond defense.
Xavier Fuller was the intended wide out there, but the Giants on 4th down and 5 will have to kick it away.
That's Derek Jones back there to punt the ball. He's one of the wide receivers. He's a sophomore himself.
Boy, a lot of young guys in this team.
A lot of young guys.
Well, now coming in late onto the field for the Giants, Mark Kirkpatrick.
And he's a freshman.
Waiting for the snap. Gets a pretty decent kickoff.
Good high punt. Marion's back there on it.
It takes a Marion bounce as it rolls down to the 10-yard line, where it'll be down there, and Richmond will have it 1st and 10 from their own 10. A pretty good net on that punt that time from the Giants, and obviously now you want your defense, Monty, to hold Richmond here and keep this field position that the Giants have in their favor, at least right now.
Yes, if the Giants hold them, they should start off on the Richmond side of the ball, Richmond side of the 50 this time.
Talked about the Red Devils being in the shotgun formation. They're going to be in there 98% of the time tonight. Their quarterback, Josh Thalls.
Looks like we got a legal procedure on number 70 there. It looks like Noah Graham.
Actually, it's what?
Encroachment.
Yep, there you see on the replay. Noah Graham just jumping off sides that time. Hard count got him. So it'll be 1st and 5 now for Red Devils. Handoff for the first man through is just enough for the first down.
That's Parker Holland, who you mentioned at the beginning of the game.
Parker Holland, the running back. You see this no huddle. 2 wide receivers down to the bottom of the screen, 2 to the top of the screen. So we'll see it 4 wideouts almost all night long from Richmond. And then that single tailback set. There's a deep pass. The receiver was wide open at the 45.
Miscommunication on the Giant defense there. Left him wide open, just overthrown a little bit.
But Tyler Rippinger was maybe too open. I think the quarterback got a little excited and overthrew Rippinger that time. That could have been a big play.
Now you see here the linebacker didn't go with him. That's number 21. Looks like Alex Blackburn. He's going to have to stick with that receiver.
The slot man came in motion, but the handoff goes to the tailback. A short gainer there as the Red Devils get it out near the 25-yard line. It'll be 3rd down now, and 3rd and about 6 to go for the first. This defense would love to get a stop here. Again, that slot receiver comes in motion. Handoff, and not much running room there at all.
That was Parker Holland again, yes.
The Giants defense holds, and I would assume 4th down and a long 2.5, maybe 3 yards to go for that first down. And the ball inside the 30-yard line.
Formation.
Kick it away. Tell you what, you never know these days in football. There's a team out in Oklahoma, I think, that no matter the field position, no matter the down and distance, they never punt. And then they onside kick every time. Just playing those odds.
That's sophomore Derek Jones returning fumbles on the ground. Marion has it.
That is what we talked about in the Richmond Red Devils, Monty. They're talking like they have, but the officials point in the direction of the Giants. That's what we cannot have, and we'll see on the replay here. You cannot drop the football.
Didn't tuck it away good. He's lucky Jalen Bush was there to pick it up for the Marion Giants.
Well, they talk about carrying it like a loaf of bread. You do not want to do that. Well, the Giants' second possession of the evening now. And one thing we're happy about is the sun setting in the west, which is directly in our eyes, is now behind the trees. Tell you what, get a great look at this new field here. Isn't it just a spectacular view of this new artificial surface, the artificial turf here at Marion High School? It looks gorgeous.
Had the opportunity to have the 7th and 8th grader from McCullough play on it Tuesday night. They loved it.
Well, nothing going that time. Inside handoff. And we'll give the Giants a pickup of a yard. That'll be 2nd and 9.
Fullback Cedric Johnson.
Well, right there, number 66, you see in the middle of that tackle, Nathan Trawick for Richmond. He's 6 foot, 300 pounds, and he's already committed to Division I football program, Mid-American Conference, Miami of Ohio. He's a load inside. Vino keeps it in the right. Oh, and then he's taken down hard for no gain.
Number 5, that's Tyreek Bates.
Excuse me, that was Bates. I was looking down at the replay and turned up, and that was Bates who took the handoff. Good pursuit that time by the Richmond defense. They're big inside, Monty, and also show some quickness outside.
That's right. They didn't go with the fake. They was waiting on him to come around the corner.
Well, 3rd down and long now for the Giants. 3rd and 9. Trevino back to pass under pressure. He's got a man wide open, and he makes the catch at the 35-yard line of the Richmond Red Devils. Oh, my goodness, he was wide open.
Sliding grab for the senior.
And who was that made the grab for the Giants? Let's take a look at the replay here.
Senior tight end, that was Spencer Reynolds.
Spencer Reynolds made the grab. That's
great sliding catch.
That's probably the favorite pass pattern the Giants have, that tight end, coming off the line, just going right up the seam. That's the first big play of the ball game for either one of these teams.
Kind of helps that Spencer plays first base for the baseball team.
Under pressure, Trevino escapes another tackle. Now he's running, and he does all he can do to get a gain of about 2 yards.
Yeah, young guy is tough as nails. I like Lorenzo. Lorenzo's a good kid. Here's the replay. Shakes a block there. Shakes another tackle. There's 3 men. My count right. He went by 5 men before they finally brought him down.
That's 2nd down and 8 for the Giants. Handoff inside to the fullback. Cedric Johnson, not much there for him. Might have got a yard.
Cedric Johnson's a little workhouse for the Marion Giants. He gets a lot of carries during the football game.
5'9", 195-pound senior. Good. Probably the most, maybe the most reliable or durable back for the Giants. We know, of course, about Will Collins and his speed. Cedric can really carry the load for you. Trevino under pressure on the roll, stops, and then he's just going to be swarmed under back at the 35-yard line, back towards the original line of scrimmage. And now Monty with the ball at the 35-yard line. Is it 4-down territory, or it looks like the Giants might kick it away?
Down. Looks like the punt team's coming out on the field.
It's certainly 4th and long, 4th and 10, but
that's not the punt team. That's the kicker team.
Are they going to attempt a field goal here? This would be what?
That's Luke Oliver out there. That look like a 50-yard field goal.
Oh, my goodness. Well, in to hold, Lorenzo Trevino. Luke Oliver going to attempt a 52-yard field goal. It's high, it's long, but it's just short. It was on line. That would have set a school record if he'd have nailed that one.
He didn't impress me.
Well, he had a good line on that, just not quite the distance. Well, Monty, on that drive, at least the Giants did pick up a couple first downs and showed some promise. Now, with this, though, with that field goal attempt, the ball going out of the back of the end zone, it's a touchback, and Richmond will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. So the Giants don't really lose much there by going for that field goal.
No, because they punt the ball, take the opportunity to punt it in the end zone, and still would have brought it out to the 20, so either way.
Exactly. Well, the Red Devils, led by Josh Stahls, getting ready to do something with their 2nd offensive possession of the game. A quick hitter, and a little miscommunication that time. His intended receiver, I think it was Mack, never turned around and looked for that one.
Giants appear to be playing pretty good defense thus far.
Sure. Well, you know, last week you mentioned in a pregame, Giants had a great first half against Anderson. They moved the football well. They had played good defense. They were up 21-3. Second half was a whole different story, but I think with this young team, they keep in a game, keep their confidence. The longer they do that, the better they are.
Yeah, I came out here a few practices this week, and that's what Coach Vermillion and his staff was stressing, to play full 4 quarters football. You can't play one half, you can't play 2 quarters, you got to play 4 quarters.
First down for the Red Devils as they get the ball out across the 35. That completed pass to Rippinger. Thals, another straight drop. There's Rippinger again. Gets it out this time across midfield and into Giants territory. Well, they start hitting on rhythm with the passing game. That certainly can start opening up some things for Richmond in the running game.
Yeah, that was another sophomore tackler there for the Giants, Alex Blackburn.
Thals with plenty of time now under pressure. Rolling to his right, throws on his right, and has Rippinger on the sideline. Inside the 30, inside the 25, and knocked out of bounds right around the 22-yard line. Pretty good throw on the run that time from Thals. And we have a Giant down on the field.
Yeah, when you're playing quarterback, you have to go through your rotation there. You got to look at all your receivers. You can't find one. A lot of quarterbacks like to pick out their one favorite target, and that's the only person they look for. He looked for all his receivers.
Not sure who that is on the field for the Giants. We'll see if we can get a number for you here in a minute. 4 minutes and 16 seconds to go here in the first half. No score in this ball game. The Richmond Red Devils on the move. Their first drive, Monty, got a first down, but they had to punt it away. Second drive for the Red Devils.
Okay, much more. That's number 7. Says Trey Rowe here, the senior in the book.
Well, it looks like he's going off on his own power. Here's a replay of that play where the pressure almost gets the Thals, but then gets the pass off.
I can't see what happened to Trey there. He goes down after he makes contact with that Richmond player. You see him standing there on the sideline. He never makes it back out on the field, so hope that young man's all right.
You know, that time Rippinger got about another 8 yards with a pretty good downfield block from his other receiver. So the Red Devils will have it. First down and 10. Ball's at the 22-yard line. Once again, Thals back in that shotgun. Red Devils on the march here. Thals with a straight drop. Fires across the middle, has his man, drops it in the end zone.
I think the defense said a little prayer that time because he was open.
Yes, the intended receiver was open on that post pattern, and that could have been 6 for the Red Devils. Couple drops tonight for Richmond. I've been very impressed with the way Thals throws the football. He puts it on a pretty good tight spiral. And now movement again, and it'll be offsides against the Giants.
It looked like that was number 77 there, DeAndre Hodge Jr. He comes off the field.
Well, so now instead of 2nd and 10, a much more manageable 2nd and 5 for Richmond. It moves the ball down to the 17-yard line. Here's an inside handoff. Breaking through. The ball is on the ground. It's a fumble.
Marion jumping up and down like
and the Giants have it. Well, we talked about turnovers hurting the Giants. This time, in this ball game, the Red Devils, who looked like they were going in to maybe put the first points on the board, they fumble inside the 10-yard line, and they turn it over to the Giants. Nice break for Marion. Hey, we're going to set it down to the field really quick and check in with Tim Tedeschi.
Marion will begin its drive.
Thanks, Roger. The injured giant down there on the play was number 7, Trey Rowe. I spoke with the trainers, and he said he just got the wind knocked out of him, just needs to get his breath back, and he should return to this game.
All right. Thank you very much, Tim. Good to hear Trey's going to be all right. Well, Trevino leads the Giants out here now. 1st and 10 from their own 7-yard line. Here's Collins. Gets a little seam. Across the 15 and out near the 20-yard line. And the biggest run of the game for the Giants as Will Collins gets the Giants a little bit of breathing room now to work with.
Yeah, you can't give that young man a seam. He has all-state track speed. He got runner-up last year in the 100-meter dash at state finals last year. So he gets a little seam. He's gone.
Yeah, you kind of sit on the edge of your seat waiting to see if he breaks one tackle, gets in that seam, he could go the distance. He could go to the house any carry. Well, the inside handoff that time to Cedric Johnson. It's going to be really, really, really tough to get anything going against Nathan Trawick on the inside there. He just clogs that middle up. Big number, 66 for Richmond.
Well, when you're 6 foot, 300 pounds, that's a whole lot of body to move.
As we said, he's already committed to Miami of Ohio.
And he's right there. As soon as he grabs Cedric,
oh, yeah.
Momentum stopped.
2nd down and 9 for the Giants. I think he handed off to Johnson that time. And I'm not sure, Monty, maybe if Trevino wasn't trying to, in that option, if he wasn't trying to take it out of Johnson's belly that time, but he couldn't get it away.
It looked like he tried to pull it back. I think it was some miscommunication between him and his fullback.
Well, now it's 3rd and long for Marion as the first quarter starts to wind down here. Coming up on the 2-minute mark. Big 3rd down for Marion. They'd love to convert and keep this drive alive. Trevino rolls to his left, throws on the run, and it is over the head of the intended receiver.
Derek Jones, a sophomore.
And I'm not sure if the pass was too far, Monty, or if maybe Jones didn't cut that route off just a little short.
Yeah, it looked like he made a stop too soon. Thought Lorenzo may have gotten in trouble and didn't think he was going to get it there. And Lorenzo, of course, threw it over his head.
Well, after the promising 1st down, the Giants are going to have to kick it away on 4th and 9. Back to kick for the Giants, Oliver. Red Devils back about their own 42-yard line to take the punt. Nice high punt. Richmond dropped the football. It's
Marion
loose.
had opportunity to get it, and Richmond fell on top of it. There are 3 Marion players there, and Richmond got a break and fell on top of it.
Wow, a break for the Red Devils. That was almost their 2nd turnover of the game, and
that was a great punt by number 6 there, Derek Jones.
Actually, I said Oliver, that he was Derek Jones. Got a great punt. Monty looked like he might have tried to run with the football.
Before it got to him, number 20, Troy McGee was there to recover it, and it just slipped through his hands, and Richmond picked it up.
I do not have a number 16 on the roster for Richmond. I think that was 16 back there. Well, here's the inside handoff and a good pickup on 1st down. It's going to be right
Richmond
at
out to about the 49-yard line.
that 1st down marker.
First down.
That was number 24 there. Ty Williams is a senior, 5'7", 185. Looks like a real strong kid.
A combination of some quickness and power there. The inside run.
Look a little like 1970s Earl Campbell.
Oh, yeah. Well, on 2nd and short,
First down as they go into Giant territory.
you get a nice gain inside the the 45 down to the 42-yard line. So it'll be a first down for the Red Devils. And they're starting to run the football here against the Giant defense. Wyatt Brown in there on the tackle. Another fumble. The ball's on the
has it.
And the Giants have the football.
That's number 20, Troy McGee on top of the senior.
Take a look at the replay here.
Am I mistaken? Does that young man have a cast on his arm out there playing?
Now that was the replay from the play before where Wyatt Brown got the tackle. Well, that is the second turnover now for the Richmond Red Devils. And boy, how ironic is that, Monty? I mean, we talked about how the turnovers killed the Giants.
The game's still early yet.
Oh, yeah. Trevino.
Gives it to Will Collins.
Collins a little bit of running room there. Picks up about 2 yards. For a second there, thought they might be setting up the reverse.
Second down.
Well, of course, you know every team that comes in here from the North Central Conference are looking for him to run the ball.
Yes.
You probably practice all week about not letting Will Collins get outside on you.
This might be the final play of the first quarter as we're under a minute now. Now splitting wide to the right is Zach Smith. Quarterback's keeper that time, a little sneak and nice little pickup for Trevino as he gets it out near midfield, just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That's a nifty little play.
He's a small guy, but he's tough as nails.
And the Giants aren't going to be in a big hurry to get off another play here in the first quarter. And so, at the end of a quarter of play here in Marion, the Richmond Red Devils and Marion Giants tied up with no score. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. You're watching the Grant County High School Football Game of the Week on WIWU.
This week on Day Trippin', we head to northern Indiana and tour the city of Valparaiso.
We walk through downtown, sample some delicious ice cream, and visit a railway garden.
And taste the world's best gummies at Albanese Candy Factory.
It's a sweet adventure this week on Day Trippin'.
Your community station, WIWU TV.
Welcome back to Marion High School, scoreless after one quarter, and it's a pretty warm night tonight, and a lot of coaches on the Marion High School sideline are wearing shorts, but this is a tradition for them every single day, even when it gets cold, and it started 46 years ago when head coach Vermillion's dad, Ron Vermillion, started wearing shorts every day as a sign of his commitment to the team, that no matter what the weather is outside, he has the same commitment to the team, and that external things cannot bother the team. So just a sign of solidarity there with the Marion High School coaches wearing shorts. Roger, back up to you.
Well, I'll tell you what, Monty, if I knew how hot it could be up in this press box, I'd have wore shorts.
That was a nice little sports trivia for Giant fans.
And that's great when it's a beautiful September night here in Marion. Now, if it's October, late October and 22 degrees out, might be a different story. Well, Trevino had a nice pickup earlier just to got a first down. It's going to be sacked back this side of midfield, back inside Giant territory, back at the 49-yard line. And so the nice pickup earlier is followed up with a sack. And so
they got a 12-yard gain the last time, and Richmond was waiting on it this time. Here's the play right here. We had a nice little 12-yard gain, and they tried to come back with it again go the opposite direction, and Richmond was waiting on it.
Well, it's 2nd down and 18 now after the loss of 8. Reno switches tight ends. Other side to the bottom of the screen. Handoff inside. Not much going there. Maybe a gain of a yard for Johnson.
Oh, that was a speedster that time. That was Will Collins ran the ball.
Oh, was it? All right.
Yes, sir.
A little bit different formation here. I just was not expecting Will Collins to tuck it up inside. Normally that's a fullback running, and Collins looking outside. Well, it's going to be 3rd down and 17 now. Trevino rolling to his right, throws on the run, and over the head of his intended receiver that time.
Looks like Xavier Fuller. Yes, another sophomore. Giants are loaded with sophomores on their offensive side of the ball.
That's the thing. You got such a young team. You got hard job for the coaching staff when maybe a team drops the game last week like they did to Anderson, to keep them positive and working hard.
And Derrick Jones back to punt the ball again for the Giants.
Well, he had a great punt last time. Gets this one off. Not quite as good, but it takes a Marion bounce inside the 20. Oh, what is he doing? It goes inside the 10-yard line.
He almost made a crucial area. The Giants did that last week against Anderson. It cost them.
Yeah. Well, the Richmond Red Devils will have it 1st and 10 down at their 9-yard line. I think, was that Tyrus Bell for Richmond?
Yes, number 6, Tyrus Bell.
Normally, coaches screaming, "Get away!"
They might have been. He probably didn't hear him.
Well, this Marion Giants defense, we said, was going to be tested tonight, and they have given up a couple big plays, but they've also had a couple good stops, Monty, and they've forced 2 turnovers.
Yeah, the Giants look like they put some size in there on the line. Number 75 of Terrell Gamble and 74 there, Tyree Smith.
Inside handoff, big hole
big
there.
Hole.
Time pickup of 13 yards out to, maybe 14 yards out to the 23-yard line. And Richmond going no huddle, of course, and picking up the pace here. Monty, there's some pretty big holes in there for Richmond to run through.
Well, they spread the Giants out.
Time to hand off. Bring the left side. Couple yards on that play out to about the 33-yard line. And so we'll give him a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
Zach, battery.
Monty, so often we talk about what happens in the trenches being so important in a game of football. And right now, you got to think, though, Richmond's winning the battle in the trenches. And there's a broken tackle down the sideline and finally run out of bounds. At the 12-yard line was the receiver for the Red Devils, Tyler Rippinger. He's had a huge first half.
Yes, sir. He slipped off a potential tackle and got another 10, 15 yards.
Well, we were talking before the game about the fundamentals of tackling high versus tackling low, and you try to tackle high, and that time Rippinger broke that tackle. Thalls under pressure on the run. He is going to be sacked back at the 16-yard line. And who was that for the Giants?
Junior number 50, Malik Smith.
Malik Smith getting the tackle, getting the sack. And, Malik Smith, in the pregame, he was limping around a little bit.
We held on to him there. You see him drag him down by the shirt tail.
Big defensive play. The Giants would love to try to keep Richmond maybe to a field goal attempt here. There's a handoff inside, and boy, they've made some hay running it right up the gut against the Giants, they being the Richmond Red Devils. And there you go.
Parker Holland again.
Yep, and he's had a good first half as well running against the Giants. But the Devils, we were talking before that big pass play, Monty, Devils winning the battle inside right now. Offensive, defensive line, in the trenches. They're moving the Giants.
Yeah, that's where most games are won. Whoever controls the line of scrimmage controls the momentum in the ball game.
Not much there, maybe a half a yard on that run. So 3rd down, and well, let's see, will it be a first down? We're going to measure.
Our pregame scouting report said they passed they 98% of the time, but they were content on running the ball against the Giants.
Well, you know what? From here, I thought he was maybe just a little bit short of that first down marker, but the officials say it's a first down, and so 1st and goal. There's a fumble. Falls on it back at the 3-yard line. Goodness gracious. Spencer Reynolds was there to clean it up, but another half a step, Spencer Reynolds might have recovered a fumble.
We talked about that at pregame, the turnovers. Turnovers will hurt the momentum of a game.
The Red Devils are on the march here. They put together an impressive drive. The big play being the long pass completion to Rippinger, who got it down to the 12-yard line. Falls. As Antonio Brown wide to the right. Oh, he fumbled
on the ground again.
Are you kidding me? Then the
Looks like the Giants have it.
Monty, that is the 3rd turnover for the Richmond Red Devils and the 2nd turnover inside the 10-yard line.
The red zone killers.
Goodness gracious. Unbelievable.
There's a flag on the play.
Let's see what that flag is. Now let's watch the replay here, and we'll come back and we'll see if there was indeed a penalty.
If I had to guess, I'd say too much celebrating by the Giants.
Well, I don't think there is a flag now that was picked up, but he's looking to hand it off to Parker Holland, and I think Dawes was trying to pull it out, and they just lost the handle on that. So the Giants deep in their own territory, get it to Collins. Spins out of one tackle to get maybe a gain of a yard, but not much running room there for Will Collins.
Brings up a 2nd down for the Giants.
Tell you what, if there's ever a time for the offensive line for the Giants, or ever a game for the Giants offensive line to really begin to improve on consistency in blocking and holding those blocks, running them through the entire play, through the whistle, this would be a good time to do it.
Yes, can't stress that enough. If you don't have the ball, you are a blocker.
Well, they're deep in the end zone here, Monty. The Giants have been looking to run the football. Do they dare maybe try to throw one here, sneak one in?
Well, the line will have to protect the quarterback, Trevino. They got to give him time to throw it.
Well, that time there's no time to run it for
Cedric Johnson again.
Cedric Johnson, and he might have lost the yards. We're back to 3rd and 10.
There's a replay there. 2 Devils in the backfield before he even received the handoff properly.
Yeah, if you try to run the football and you're being hit before you even get the handoff, you're not going to go very far. So it's 3rd and 10. Trevino on the run, escapes one tackler, and that was a flag in the end zone. Collins got the reception, gets it out across the 25, out near the 30, but if that's a hold in the end zone, that's going to be a safety. Looking at the official here, depending on where that hold was, that could be a safety.
Usually when you see a flag in the backfield, that's what it is. The indications is, it's a block in the back on a replay.
That was every bit of a hold. I think this is going to be a safety. Shame for the Giants, as they would have had their really biggest play of the first half. It's going to be called back from a penalty. Well, I think the officials are discussing right now, was it in the end zone? It clearly wasn't what we saw. Get the advantage of replay.
Holding called against the Giants.
Yep.
You called it. There was a safety holding in the end zone.
And you may have heard the official's explanation there, picked up from our field microphone there, but the first points of the ball game will be to the Richmond Red Devils by virtue of a safety.
Hey, watch this play again.
That's a tough spot for an offensive lineman. You got to protect the quarterback. But the safety or the penalty in the end zone, obviously an automatic safety. And so the Giants will have to kick it off here from their own 20-yard line to the Devils. So not only do they get the 2 points, they'll get the football.
As a coach, you don't like to see those type of plays, but that just tells me that the guy was trying to block and protect the quarterback.
Yeah. Well, I somewhat anticipated maybe more of a high-scoring football game here tonight, Monty, but it's not been that at all. The Giants have struggled to move the football. Richmond, on the other hand, has moved the football, but they've destroyed themselves with turnovers. Let's see, is that Luke Oliver? It is. He's going to tee it up. Sometimes you'll see teams after safety on the free kick punt it away. Maybe more often than kickoff.
Well, I think Coach Vermillion relying on Oliver's leg as a soccer player.
Yes.
I've watched that young man at practice. He's been out here kicking 50-yard field goals. So he's got a nice leg.
Well, a big opportunity now for the Richmond Red Devils, though. They've got the 2 points. They'd love to put together a drive here with about 5 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in the first half. Oliver with a nice kick. Here's a little bit of a reverse handoff here. Out across the 30, the 40, and down the sideline. One man to beat. Oliver cannot make the tackle.
He slowed him down enough for number 5, Tyreek Bates, the junior, brung him down.
Well, they got it to Parker Holland on the reverse. And a lot of running room for Parker Holland here, Monty. And he gets the big gainer. Take a look at the replay here. Wasn't very sneaky, just effective.
And Richmond sets up a wall here, and he just found the crease and went straight through it. And Oliver stopped him, slowed him down long enough for Giants to keep up with him and bring him down.
Not sure who that was. I think for the Giants, that was Tyreek Bates who made the tackle, saving the touchdown. And there's a Giant down in the field, way back at the 40-yard line now. Not sure, it was so far away from the end of the play. I don't think a lot of people noticed, but the trainers are attending to the injured Giant back here at the 40-yard line. That's right about the area where
looked like the first contact where they first had a Richmond Red Devil wall.
Yeah, where he really broke open.
He's up. Number 10, that's Mark Kahn. He's a senior. Backup quarterback.
Yeah, hold that right arm. Take a look at the replay here one more time.
Oh, he took a blind side hit there. Did you see that?
Yes, he did. He really got caught. You know what? And that's one of those. We're going to back it up here.
He never seen him coming.
I think of the NFL, that's a point of emphasis. I'm not sure who it was last Sunday, but on a kickoff, that was a 15-yard penalty for more of that blindside hit. A little more technical than that, but trying to eliminate at some levels. I think it's a good block, but that's a wicked hit to take when you're not seeing it coming.
Now in the day of age of the concussion, you think they watched that a little bit more, but none of the referees seen it.
look at the replay here on that first down play.
Second and 5.
Pick up a 5 yards, so it'll be a second down and 5.
That was the senior Ty Williams again.
Yeah. Well, Richmond's done a good job rotating different backs in, different receivers. Keeping fresh. On the blitz. Well, he timed it just right.
That's Spencer Reynolds. He timed it like he was reading a quarterback's mind.
Well, he just shot the linebacker right through the gap, and boy, Spencer almost took the handoff.
He's right there. Watch this. He found him a seam and went right straight through there.
Well, that'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play, so it sets up a third down and 11. And boy, I tell you what, this is a big third down play for the Giants defensively here. And did the Giants jump off sides? Or is it? No, it's a procedure penalty.
Penalty on the field.
Let's go down to the field and check in with Tim Tedeschi.
Thanks, Roger. That injured player on the kickoff was number 10, Mark Cohn. Talked with the trainer. They said just got the wind knocked out of him and has a stinger in his arm. So working to get the muscles relaxed and working on range of motion on that right arm right now. But doesn't look like anything too serious. He should return.
All right, thank you, Tim. Well, that penalty now for the Red Devils, Monty, 3rd and 16. The Giants defense needs to come up with a big stop right here.
Well, if I was a betting man, I'd be willing to say they're going to throw this ball.
Yes, time stepping up in the pocket. Eludes one tackler on the run, but there he's going to go down. Wyatt Brown makes the big tackle back at the 29-yard line. Credit to defensive backs, I think, that time, Monty. Good coverage sack.
Great coverage. Everybody stayed with their man.
He was that big number 75 for the Giants. Gamble forcing him back to the inside. Thalls that is.
Senior leadership there, senior leadership.
Well, it's 4th down and 16 to go, but the ball is at the 28-yard line, so Thalls is into the offense. They figure if they don't make it here, it's just about as good as a punt attempt that may go in the end zone. Thalls way back, fires across it, picked off at the 10. There's a flag on the play, but the pass was intercepted.
That's number 8, Cedric Johnson, the senior.
The flag is against the Richmond Red Devils. You almost think been better if Cedric would have just knocked it down, but that's hard to do because Cedric's thinking about making a big return here. But an interception, get a load of this, the 4th turnover for Richmond here in the first half.
The defense came to play. Now we get the offense rolling, and Marion might pull out a W tonight.
Yeah, you get the feel the Giants could get one big play if they could get Will Collins open, loose, out in space, make something happen, change field position, and get some momentum going there on the offense. It would be a much more interesting second half. Trevino on the keeper. He lost the football, but it goes out of bounds. Well, they are really struggling, Monty. The Giants are to find something that's going to be working consistently for them on the offensive side of the football.
Here's the replay. I don't know if he was trying to pitch that ball there or was he trying to keep it. It looked like he tried to flip it there, but Richmond was on top of it and the ball went out of bounds. That's one thing about the option play. You have to make your mind what you're going to do with the ball quickly. You can't wait till you get to the sideline.
Well, it'll be 2nd down and 15 after that loss of 5 yards. Bouncing
There's Will Collins. He's got a block in front of him. Still going.
Down the sideline, and he has first down yardage across the 35. Actually, across the 30, and out of bounds at the 34.
Another big pickup for the Giants that can keep the momentum going.
Oh, a huge pickup for them as we approach the 2-minute mark here in the first half. On that 2nd and 15, a big Will Collins pickup here.
I like how he stutter stepped here and took his time, let the blockers get in front of him. Instead of taking a big hit, he just goes out of bounds.
Trevino's going to go deep. Head his man, and I'm telling you what, right now, and I see the Marion Giants coach is jumping up and down, but I was watching Spencer Reynolds. He had a little bit of contact there. I thought the defensive back grabbed his jersey and slowed him down, or Spencer Reynolds might have had a big pickup there. He may have taken it to the house. I don't know if we'll get a replay of that one or not, but Trevino under a little bit of pressure there. I thought I had a pretty good pass that time.
So he's not a bad quarterback. They give him time to throw. He can get it down there.
And so young, still learning this offense and how to make those decisions. Here's a little reverse action. Boy, just hemmed in that time by the Red Devils was Tyreek Bates. And he's going to be knocked back for a loss. Good containment that time from the Richmond Red Devil defense. There's a timeout on the field this time, and I think it was Richmond that called the timeout.
My observation, young man has to learn how to just keep running the ball. He tried to turn it back and make a big play. Get what you can get. So get what you can get, go down and run the next play.
And he got the WWF Undertaker choke slam there.
Instead of getting a positive 2 yards, it looked like they lost 3.
I want to mention our next game here, the Grant County High School football game of the week, is next week. We'll be in Gas City to see the Mississinawa Indians host the Panthers from Eastbrook High School. Game time Friday night, 7 p.m. Of course, our broadcast will be on at 11 p.m. that evening, and of course, many more times during the week. For a full schedule, go to WIWTV.com. Looking forward to making our first appearance over in Gas City at Mississinawa next week.
That should be a real good ball game. Those county rival games are real good games to go watch.
We had a great time last week at at Eastbrook as they defeated Elwood. Of course, tonight here from Marion High School. Next week from Mississinawa High School. Well, Trevino with a deep drop, dumps it off to Collins. He slips one tackler. Looking for a seam, and just not much there. I like that play, kind of a screen to Will Collins, and just needed maybe one more block.
Yeah, here's the replay. He's out there, they drop it off to him. And the ball got passed before the blocker got out there to him, and it's just him and the Red Devil.
Well, the Giants will be forced to kick it away on 4th and 13. Jones back to kick it away for the Giants. This is a end-over-end wobbler taken at the 40. Oh, a lot of running room. Across midfield, the 40, the 35. Oh, and drugged down by the face mask. I don't see a flag yet.
It looked like he was up on the shoulder pads. He didn't grab his helmet. He grabbed him high on the shoulder pads, though.
And that's what the official is saying right now, pointing to the Richmond coaching staff. But Juwan Claiborne, he had him by the shoulder pad. I thought he got him from the face mask up here. But Richmond has a minute and 28 seconds from which to maybe.
We're waiting to see what this flag is back here on the 38-yard line where they received the punt at. It looks like we're going back down the field.
Well, there it was a flag. I did not see that one. It's a personal foul against Richmond. Well, what a big change of events here. Another angle here. Jones definitely pulled him down by the shoulder pads. So instead of the Richmond Red Devils having it 1st and 10 deep into Marion Giants territory.
Looks like they're going to start on their own 26-yard line.
Oh, my, what a huge penalty. Wow. And I'll be honest, I still did not see the call, but
I think they're building us up for a big second half. This has been too calm of a first half. I think one of these teams are going to explode.
Ball's going deep down the right sideline over the head of his intended receiver. That was number 18, Brendan Hegg. Second down and 10 now. Monty, that had to be multiple personal fouls. I don't know if there was a flag on the sideline or the coach or something, unsportsmanlike conduct or something, but that is a huge penalty.
I missed it. It looked like a Richmond player hit the Giants in the back when the player caught the football or caught the punt.
Dolls, Woolen's right under pressure. Caught, though, complete to his man out across the 45-yard line. Guess who? Once again, number 11, Tyler Reppinger. Difficult to say that name, but he's been big for them in the first half. Reppinger has. Yeah, now, is there a timeout? Yeah, the Giants are going to have to call a timeout. Come back to this replay. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. Look like the Giants had too many players on the field and trying to get one of their players off.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the final minute 17 seconds of this first half. You're watching Grant County High School football game of the week on WIWU.
Each week, Crossroads highlights the people and places of Grant County, and we want to hear from you. Visit our website at WIWUTV.com and tell us your story.
While you are there, check out everything Crossroads has to offer. See full episodes, catch up on past stories.
And be sure to follow Crossroads on Facebook and Twitter for an inside look into each episode. WIWUTV.com, your connection to Grant County.
Well, as we're back to live action, Reppinger on the receiving end of a huge pass that time from Thalls. He takes it inside the 15, inside the 11. And Monty, let's take a look at the replay here. This is an impressive throw.
Thalls threw it up there and Reppinger went and got it.
Well, this is unofficial, but I think Reppinger now well over 140 yards receiving, and there he goes in the end zone for the touchdown.
And
Red
Reppinger
Devils
again.
Actually, no, you know what? I thought it was Reppinger. I'm getting used to calling his name. It was Antonio Brown with the reception. They went away from Reppinger that time, and the first touchdown of the ball game belongs to the Red Devils. Well, Richmond in the final 2 minutes of this first half coming up with the big touchdown. After the big penalty, they get the big pass play, the long pass play, the Reppinger, and then the touchdown pass to Antonio Brown. Makes it an 8-0 ball game. In to attempt the extra point now, Zach Smith, number 3 for the Red Devils. Here's a snap. Kick is up, and it is good. And so 9-0 now is the score in favor of the Red Devils. So, Monty, a minute to go for the Giants. We'd love to see a big, maybe return of the kickoff here. Try to get some points on the scoreboard here before the end of the first half.
Yeah, don't get overzealous. Keep it simple. Maintain control of the football. No turnover. A 9-point lead is not a big deficit to overcome in the second half.
Well, we know Marion can score some points. They just, like we said, you get the feeling they need something good to happen on the offensive end to get some good momentum, to get some positive feeling here going, and get some excitement going on that offensive side of the football.
Oh, yeah, the coaching staff will take them in at halftime, and they'll regroup. They'll come out fired up. Like I said, 9 points is not a big deficit. And you can cut that down now. This is the last minute of the first half.
Well, Will Collins is back deep to accept the kickoff for the Giants back there along with Bates. Of course, we saw Richmond kick it short on their one previous kickoff to start the football game.
Second row back, you have Derek Jones and a freshman out there, Trey Cox. And they're all speedy guys back there in the back for Marion. Short kick.
Right up the middle. And just falling on the football there for the Giants was number 6, Derek Jones. So the Giants have 58.3 seconds to go. Try to get some points on the scoreboard before we go in the locker room at halftime.
Lorenzo Trevino brings the troops to the line.
I don't know, Monty, if you try to keep the football on the ground here, just run out this first half, or you maybe put it up in the air, and they're going to cross the middle. Open, has his man, breaking free, midfield.
Jones,
he can go, 40.
Looks like he's going to the house.
Being chased down inside the 20, inside the 15-yard line. That was Derek Jones. And a touchdown-saving tackle from the Richmond Red Devils. Well, I said maybe they'll keep it on the ground and run it out, Nate. Get their biggest play of the first half.
A nice little cross pattern. Lorenzo Trevino stayed in the pocket and delivered a nice pass. One man to beat. And that was Antonio Brown who just scored the touchdown for Richmond on the other end.
Yeah, the man who scored the touchdown saves the touchdown this time, but the Giants now, with by far their best scoring opportunity of the football game, they have it 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Trevino across the middle. Oh, he had his man open.
Drop pass, the senior.
Not sure who that was. Was that
Spencer Reynolds? He's beating himself up. Coming in from the tight end's position, looking, he leaves the line wide open. Nobody goes with him. The safety hits him in the end zone. He threw the pass a little bit earlier. He'd been wide open right by himself.
Well, 2nd and 10. The Giants could get a first down here. They'd be just inside the 1. So 2nd and 10. Smith in the backfield. Gets the handoff. Cuts it back up the middle. Inside the 5. A gain of 6 yards, and now the Giants are going to call a timeout. I believe that's their 2nd timeout. They should have one remaining.
35 seconds to go.
35 seconds to go. That may have been one of the better jobs the offensive line has done here in the first half of creating a gap there for Collins to run inside.
Timeout on the field for Marion.
How big would it be right here, Monty? The Giants trailing 9-0 to get some points here to go in the second half.
That would be real big because they, if I'm not mistaken, they get the ball at the beginning of the second half.
Well, I mean, you mentioned 9-0, not too much to come back, but 9-6 or 9-7, you can go in the locker room feeling a whole lot better.
Yeah. Whole lot better. Give up a touchdown and score your own touchdown within a minute left.
Well, the Giants do have to kick off to start the second half. I just checked my notes. I couldn't remember. The Giants got the
the ball first. That's correct.
Now, we know the Giants obviously want one touchdown, but Luke Oliver, he's got a good leg, and he's a pretty reliable place kicker.
Well, they could get in an end zone here. That'd be real big.
Collins left side.
He's in.
Corner, and he's in for the touchdown. And Marion Giants, just like that, Monty Smith, I think a lot of us were feeling, the Giants are in trouble. They're right back in this football
Right back in the ball game. Nice little conservative toss pass here from Lorenzo to Will Collins, and he runs it on in. That's that all-state track speed I was telling you about.
You know what? Lorenzo Trevino on that drive was pretty solid. He stood in the pocket, took a couple big hits, and put some throws right on the money.
I see big things coming from that kid in his future. He just got to keep his head straight.
Oh, the extra point attempt,
extra point is blocked.
Well, a scoring drive for the Marion Giants that took all of, 23 seconds.
Marion's on the field. They're complaining about something to the referee. Something went on that they didn't like.
I did not see a penalty flag, but we'll see the replay here. Who's got it? Oh, right up the gut. And big number 77, Ryan Shumanoff for the Red Devils. Get in there, but tell you what, you're going to have to do a better job blocking on that one, Molly. That was a little too easy.
Well, I couldn't tell from that replay what the Giants were complaining about, but it looked like a clean block to me.
Well, there's still 30 seconds to go now. And in a first half that saw little to no scoring for most of that first half, all of a sudden we've had, 15 points put on the board in about 2 minutes.
I told you you're leading up to a big second half for us. We're going to see some fireworks.
Well, I hope so. Oliver ready to kick this one off for the Giants. Giants have had a little bit of trouble in their coverage on special teams tonight. They do not want to give up a big play here. Nice end-over-end kick. Drives the Red Devils back to the 5-yard line. Across the 20, out to the 25. And down at the 29-yard line. Well, 1st and 10 as we see Sanders here on the return. Bobbling that football around towards the end of the play as well. Well, Thalls.
That's one of the rules, though. Your knee hits the ground before the ball comes loose.
I guarantee, well, at least I'm assuming, Thalls is going to look for Rippinger here real quick. He's had a huge first half. See where he's lined up here. Comes in motion. And he gets it out of the backfield. Gets a good block. And there's a flag. This one's coming back, though. Instead of the big gainer there.
Looks like we're going to bring it back.
And we'll see here.
Ball goes against Richmond, holding.
A block in the back or a hold.
I didn't see a block in the back, but it looked like one of the receivers had hold of the cornerback number 7 here.
Well, instead of 1st and 10 for the Red Devils out near midfield, it'll put the football back about the 29-yard line.
Red Devils.
1st and 20.
Red Devils 24-yard line.
Actually,
for Richmond,
spot foul. It's going to be 1st and about 15.
Mental errors kill momentum every time.
Well, tell you what, Richmond.
Look like they're going to move back some more. Hard count instead of the Giants moving. Richmond takes off down the field.
I think going into halftime, if you're Coach Vermillion for the Giants, you're like, guys, we're right back in this ball game. It's positive, encouraging. On the other side, if you're the Red Devils, Coach Holdiger, you're guys, we're killing ourselves.
Yeah, you can't have all those turnovers and miscues. It'll hurt you.
Well, there's the handoff inside, some running room. And that time, Parker Holland gets a nice little gain, about 7 yards. Hard to tell if that was really a great run that time or the Giants back in a little bit of a prevent, giving up the play. And that indeed is the final play of the first half. So our score at the half, and that's not what you want to see at all. When the Giants on the field, that might be Spencer Reynolds.
It looked like Spencer Reynolds, the senior.
See if we get a look here on the replay.
That's the end toward the parking lot.
Looked like he banged knees right there as they were tackling him.
Might have got hit by his own man. Well, the halftime score is 9-6. We're going to send it down to the field and talk one more time to Tim Tedeschi.
Thanks, Roger. The big key word for the Giants coaching staff this first half was focus. I must have heard the coaches say focus over a couple dozen times, really, just pounding into their players to play their game, eliminate mistakes. And you really saw that with that last drive, moving down the field. They stayed focused right after giving up that touchdown. And so we'll look in the second half for the Giants to stay focused and to just believe and finish this game. Back up to you, Roger.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Tim Tedeschi. Well, don't go away. When we come back, we'll have the second half of action, of course. But our halftime, we're going to have an update on Indiana Wesleyan University sports, a special Wildcat Week halftime show. You're watching the Grant County High School football game of the week here on WIWU TV.
Welcome to the Wildcat Week halftime show. I'm your host, Kyle Johnson. We're going to take a break from the high school football gridiron and get you caught up on some IWU sports. First off is women's soccer. The Lady Wildcats played a hard-fought game on Tuesday afternoon, welcoming the Bulldogs of Ferris State. This game was scoreless in the first half, so on to the second we go. Katie Long finds Trisha Martinez, and she hits the back of the net on this one, giving the Wildcats the 1-0 lead. This goal came in the 62nd minute of play, and the Wildcats were up 1-0. But just 8 minutes later, however, Ferris State scores a goal of their own. This one comes from Riley Wood, and she finds the back of the net, and she ties this game up at 1 apiece. There would be no scores in the remainder of regulation, so on to overtime we go. Ferris State, a corner kick to Stephanie Garland. She puts in the header. That would do it for this one. Ferris State wins the heartbreaker in overtime, 2-1. Lady Wildcats continue to struggle early on, falling to 1-6 thus far on the year. The good news is that there's a whole conference race still ahead for the Lady Wildcats. The men's golf team qualified for the NCCAA National Championship Tournament on Tuesday. The team won the Midwest Regional Qualifier by 7 strokes. 3 Wildcats rounded out the top 4 individuals of the tournament. Jake Coffey placed second overall with a total of 143 strokes, and Dalton Miller and Ethan Lukey tied for third with 144 total strokes. Other teams had victories this week as well. Both Wildcat tennis teams achieved victories against Spring Arbor. The men defeated the Cougars 9-0, and the women were victorious on the road, winning 8-1. The volleyball team pitched a shutout Wednesday night against Huntington. Sophomore Remy Buckner led the Wildcats to their 9th straight victory. They defeated Huntington 3-0. Next Friday night, the Eastbrook Panthers travel to Mississinewa to take on the Indians. Last year in their game, Eastbrook won a close game 38-28 by 10 points. Eastbrook is off to a hot start in the conference race, but Mississinewa looking for the upset bid, and that is our first cross-county game of the Friday night season. That's next Friday at 11 p.m. That's the WIWU TV High School Game of the Week. And that'll do it for this edition of Wildcat Week Halftime. If you ever want more information about WIWU and all Wildcat sports, you can visit WIWUTV.com. That's WIWUTV.com. That's all we have for this Wildcat Week Halftime. Let's get back to the football field for the second half of Richmond at Marion. I'm Kyle Johnson, and you've been watching Wildcat Week Halftime.
This week on Day Trippin', we head to northern Indiana and tour the city of Valparaiso.
We walk through downtown, sample some delicious ice cream, and visit a railway garden.
And taste the world's best gummies at Albany's Candy Factory.
It's a sweet adventure this week on Day Trippin'.
Do you like the taste of wings but not the messy factor? This week on Good Hoosier Cookin', you'll learn a simple crock-pot recipe that reduces the mess without sacrificing the taste. We'll also show you how to take the celery and blue cheese that accompany wings and turn it into a coleslaw that you can eat on the side or pile on your sandwich. You're going to love this twist on hot wings.
Every week on your community station, WIWU TV.
This week on Perspectives, we're talking about the Mississinawa Valley Band, and our guest will be John Brain, who is the director and also one of the founders of the band. It's been 15 years since the Mississinawa Valley Band performed its first concert, and the people are still showing up in record numbers to hear the band. I'm Alan Miller. Join us this week as we explore a new perspective.
Grant County's hometown station. This is WIWU TV 51, Marion.
Back here at Dick Luton Stadium, here at Marion High School. Monty Smith joins me, Roger Alcock, and Monty, we're going to take a look at some of the highlights here of this first half, and we talked about how the Marion Giants wanted to take care of the football. They did a good job of that, but there was the end of the the only touchdown in the first half for Richmond after a good drive that they put together in the extra point. They got on the scoreboard first with the safety, but this was a big play in the first half where Richmond could have maybe run out the clock in the first half, could have done some damage, but that penalty there put them back.
Yeah, penalties cost them in the first half. They had 4 altogether, and it's hard to win a football game on any level when you give up 4 turnovers.
Well, here's the touchdown to Will Collins. You just see the speed there of Will Collins getting in the corner. I don't know that very many people thought he would get to the corner there, but it just shows that burst of speed.
I didn't think he was going to get there myself.
Now the problem there, though, was obviously on the extra point there, the blocked extra point. Well, but anyways, that was a big scoring drive for the Giants to get on the scoreboard, to get back to win in this ball game. We're going to go down to Tim Tedeschi, our sideline reporter, get his observations.
Thanks, Roger. I talked with some Marion assistant coaches at the half, and they said they were very proud of the defensive effort in the first half. I just want to keep doing the same thing, not making very many adjustments defensively. Just want to keep playing strong on that side. Offensively, they said they are going to try to spread the ball out more, get the ball into the receiver's hands, and they said they believe they can win this game. Roger, back up to you.
I was going to ask about, as we're going to take a look at some stats here from the first half, passing yards, big advantage there for Richmond Red Devils, 178-94. They have the advantage there with rushing yards, passing yards, total yards, almost doubling up what the Giants were able to do there. But the turnovers are just, similar to what happened to Marion last week against Anderson. They've killed Richmond this week.
On the offensive side, the passing yards stuck out, and on the defensive side, look at that, 5 fumbles. It's hard to win a game when you give up 5 fumbles, and I know 4 of them Marion got back.
All right, we're getting ready here for the second half. I think the Red Devils dropped the football. There's 4 turnovers in the first half, 3 fumbles and the 1 interception there in the first half for Richmond. Well, the Giants are going to have to kick this one away to start the second half. And what Tim talked about, though, the defense, we talked about a little bit that the defensive backs were going to have to do, a good job covering all these wideouts. I think for the most part, they did a pretty good job on several occasions. They did give up a couple big plays. If they can eliminate those big plays, keep the receivers in front of them, they can make a onside kick, and the Giants, are they able to cover it before it goes out of bounds?
Referee says Marion has it.
Well, go figure. The Giants were able to cover that before it went out of bounds. We'll get a good look at the replay here, Monty. Luke Oliver just eyes it, and
the Richmond player bounced off his foot. And that was the senior, Troy McGee, catches it before it goes out of bounds.
Well, if the momentum maybe shifted a little bit to the Giants at the end of that first half, that's a great way for them to start it in the second half to keep that momentum.
Yes, give the guys some confidence.
Well, the Giants will start this drive at the 49-yard line of Richmond, right near midfield. Oh, handoff there. Nothing doing for Will Collins. Collins has found a little bit of success on the outside, inside not so much.
Here's your replay. Trevino steps under center. He faked it there to Johnson, hands it off, and they were waiting on Will Collins. Number 42. Colin Watts, the senior there, linebacker.
It'll be a second down and 11. Loss of a yard. Trevino bobbled it, so he's going to try to carry it himself, and nothing going there. Nathan Treywick right there to wrap him up. Well, what could be a big series here for the Giants, Monty, after that onside kick. So far, they've not been able to take advantage of it.
It looked like Lorenzo tried to pull away from the center too fast. He has to stay there and get the snap.
Well, it'll be a third down and 10 now. Straight drop. Trevino dumps across the middle. It's picked off. Intercepted at the 44-yard line and brought out to the 49. And that was picked off by Andrew Rice, senior linebacker. We talked about, as we take a look at this replay, some good decisions that Trevino had made. This one, pressure forces a bad decision.
Yeah, it looked like he went in there under the trees and couldn't really see downfield. Tried to get it to Will Collins, but Collins was standing in the middle of 5 Richmond Red Devils, and the interception was inevitable. Giants on defense now.
Well, Thalls gives the inside handoff, bouncing it to the outside. And near the first down marker, it is a first down. He fumbled the football, but it goes out of bounds. That's Parker Holland, who had a nice first half for the Red Devils. What is with the football tonight and the Red Devils? They had a hard time keeping the handle on that ball.
Almost looked like the 4-H fair here, chasing the baby pig.
Well, it was a pickup of about 11 yards, so it'll be a first down as you take a look at this replay. Monty, you've been talking a little bit about the need for the offensive line for the Giants to sustain blocks and control the line of scrimmage. Same thing applies for the defensive line. They need to limit the Red Devils here on first down, but that was a big gainer.
Now 21, Alex Blackburn just may have saved a
Blackburn tackled Williams.
Touchdown.
Yep, Williams almost broke that one. And so now the Red Devils have it first and 10. Ball's at the 17-yard line. So they look to take advantage of the Giants' turnover. Thalls, inside handoff. Slipping one tackle and getting down to the down to the 10-yard line. That time was Ty Williams. They've got a stable of some pretty good backs.
Yes, they do. Notice here on this replay, number 21, Alex Blackburn, has been doing a lot of score-saving tackles here. He didn't make that tackle there. All I seen was green grass in front of him.
Williams, one more time. This time he gets inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line, and that'll be a first down for the Red Devils. They move quickly now. They get back to shotgun. Thalls has his man in motion. Inside handoff, though. Plowing forward is Williams down close to the goal line. He'll be stopped short at the 1. Well, 2 times in the first half, the Red Devils were inside the Marion Giants red zone, inside the 10 when they turned the football over.
Let's hope they still have that flu bug. And that Marion get the ball here.
Keeping it. Thalls turns it up and gets into the end zone for the Richmond touchdown. Well, the Richmond Red Devils take advantage of the interception, and they put together a 51-yard drive, and they go on top now 15-6.
They ran 4 straight plays with Ty Williams, and then last time Fowler's kept the ball himself and went around the end.
Yeah, I don't know if Thalls has had a designed run this whole ball game. He may have had one in the first half. He doesn't run it that much, but that time very effective. Gets the Richmond touchdown. In for the extra point now, Zach Smith. Snaps down, and this one, oh my goodness, how was that not blocked? But the kick is up and good. And so now Richmond goes on top by 10. They're back on top, 16-6. Well, 8 minutes and 45 seconds remain as we take a look one more time. Here's the extra point.
I agree with you. I don't know how the Giant defender did not block that. He's right there.
Breaking through. Down in the field, Tim Tedeschi, what do you have for us?
Marion is the place to be. Why would you want to be anywhere else with these opportunities for
All right, I thought we were going down to Tim, but we'll keep it up here, Monty, and
a Marion Giant.
Now we have Tim down on the field.
Well, Roger, on that drive, the Marion coaches were not happy with the tackling at all. Head coach Mark Vermillion got about 5 yards out onto the field, yelling to wrap up, really looking for the Marion defense to play a little tougher there on that drive. Roger, back up to you.
Yeah, we mentioned that once in the first half, Monty, that you talked about, those fundamentals you learn.
Fundamentals, yes.
In 6th grade and 7th grade and 8th grade, and about tackling, you've got to carry those kinds of things over to game time situations, and especially these big, strong backs from Richmond. You got to tackle low, and then you have to team tackle.
Yep. It's not a watching game. One of your teammates grab the man with the ball. Everybody else is supposed to go to the ball as well. That freshman with the ball.
Well, out at the 22-yard line, that was Trey Cox for the Giants. Got a couple yards before he was shoved backwards. But the Giants, with 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter, will set up 1st and 10.
That's almost unheard of to see a freshman out there playing football, but young man did a pretty good job. Richmond says, welcome to the big time, young fella.
Yeah. Well, and when you look down this Marion Giants roster, a lot of sophomores getting big minutes. And then, like you said there, even a few freshmen getting some play time here. But young team getting some valuable experience. Is there a flag on the play? There is. I think someone on that left side of the Giants.
Yeah, Richmond was showing a little motion and got the offensive line a little giddy.
You can see it here. Oh, no, it's on the right side. Got the right guard for the Giants. There's Hodge. So it'll be 1st and 15 now for the Giants. They really need to get some points back here down the scoreboard. Here's Will Collins stretching to the left side. He got a little bit of a seam across the 30, out to near the 35-yard line, knocked out of bounds Well, let's see, about the 33, and that should be a Marion Giants first down.
Yes, sir. See where they mark it. It looks like they're going to mark it short. Nope, moving the chains, the first down.
And spot the ball at just shy of the 33, so that will be enough for a Giants first down. Will Collins might need to see.
Let's see that replay. It didn't look like he was moving very fast, but he got down the field kind of quick.
A tight bunch formation to the right side for the Giants. Now running option right. Trevino will keep it. Pushes forward and gets a gain of about 3 yards out to the 36-yard line. That'll set up a 2nd and 7.
The Giants still have time to make this a ball game.
Well, of course, they have the big play ability with Will Collins. Here's Trevino on the roll to his left. He's looking deep, throwing deep. He's got his man wide open at the 30, the 25, the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown!
Xavier Fuller, sophomore to sophomore.
No flags, and a huge play. Trevino to Xavier Fuller, and the Giants are right back in this football game. It's 16-12.
And you just said that Marion has the capability of making big plays, and there you go. Big play.
A little bit of speed shown there from Xavier Fuller. The defender looked like he might have had an angle just for a moment, but Fuller was able to pull away and take it to the house. Well, in for the extra point now. Luke Oliver. Snap is down, the kick is up. Much better blocking that time.
Very good blocking that time.
And it's a 3-point ball game just like that, 16-13. What a big drive for the Giants. Again, Trevino making a good decision that time and an excellent pass.
Excellent pass.
You know, I think Trevino, Monty, has shown us even as a sophomore, he's got the ability to make a good decision, the right decision. He's shown the ability to take a hit too.
He's got the ability. He's right now he's getting the experience.
Well, this sets up now a big defensive possession for the Giants. You know, they've never led in this ball game, but you know, in this type of ball game, especially at home, the longer you can stay in it, the longer you can kind of get that upset mode going. So take a look at the replay.
You see him here roll out to the left. He drops back, throws it. Xavier Fuller got behind his man and took it to the house.
Boy, and the key for Fuller that time, Trevino put it right in the breadbasket, Monty, where he caught him right in stride. We've seen Thalls make some big throws in this game for the Red Devils. There's a great kick that time from Oliver. Drives his Red Devils back in the end zone. That's a touchback.
So they'll start off with their ball on the 20-yard line. Great kick by Luke.
Yeah, Luke Oliver drove it right over the head of Tyrus Bell. Actually, that was Sanders back there. But the Red Devils will have it 1st and 10 from their 20-yard line. Well, I was saying, come back to that one point, Marion stays in this ball game. They, you know, get that momentum, keep it on their side. They get a big play here, maybe create another turnover, and then Richmond all of a sudden is feeling the pressure. Giants show some blitz here, but both broken tackle. Williams has some running room, and he'll have a first down.
Tackle. You mentioned it before. These Richmond backs are real good football players out here.
And we have Williams. He's had a good ball game. Parker Holland as well. Tyler Rippinger catching the football. He had over 140 yards receiving in the first half.
Giants show blitz again. It's a pass.
A poor tackle that time. And out near midfield that time goes Antonio Brown. So a big pickup there on first down, and another first down for the Red Devils.
Let's see the replay here. The Giant defender wraps him up right here. He stops the play right there, but he did not. And he gets another additional 15 yards on it. You have to wrap up.
But there was back to live action. There's a near turnover there as Richmond flubbed that one, and they're going to lose 5 yards. Back to the 45. A near disaster for Richmond. So it'll be 2nd and 15. There's no question the Red Devils really shot themselves in the foot tonight. They had their opportunities in the first half to go up big on the Giants, didn't do it. Well, looks like Marion gave it right back.
Look like the defensive end on the right side.
Yeah, it's an offsides against the Giants. There you see the defender jumping. So it moves it right back to our original line of scrimmage. About the 49-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 9 now.
You got to stay in the game. You got to keep mentally tough.
There's a handoff bouncing to the outside. And getting a nice little gainer there is Parker Holland.
That young man's been a workhorse tonight, too. We've heard that name a few times tonight.
And he picks up the Richmond first down.
However, the Red Devils do pick up a first down, putting it out at the...
Wyatt Brown there on the chase, but finally knocking him out of bounds for the Giants was Alex Blackburn. Dolls, straight drop. Under pressure, he's going to tuck it and run. At the 35 and takes a big hit and down. That's about the 34-yard line. Big Terrell Gamble there with the stop.
That was a big guy there, brought him down.
Yeah, you got to keep pursuing, don't you, Monty?
Yep, he almost had him there at the line of scrimmage. He kept following him and caught up with him trying to cut back.
2nd and 4 after that gain of 6. Falls looking deep, pump fake. As his man. Wide open at the 10 and down at the 5, down at the 4-yard line.
That's
Tyler
Rippinger.
Yep.
I think the defense will keep an eye on that young man. He's been all over the field tonight.
Falls had a nice little ball fake there, pump fake. Rippinger showing the signs of that tackle. He's a little slow. A little bit of a limp after that one. But it's a 1st and goal situation now for the Richmond Red Devils. They have the ball at the 4-yard line. Handoff, and right up the middle, touchdown for Parker Holland. So the Red Devils respond to the Marion Giants touchdown as they march down the field 80 yards in very efficient fashion, and Parker Holland gets the touchdown.
And talk about fireworks. We're barely in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
And there's 3 touchdowns already.
Well, who'd have thought this game might be a shootout, but the way it's that first quarter went. Smith in to attempt the extra point. Rippinger with the hold. And the kick is good. It wasn't too long, but it was straight enough.
Yeah, Richmond goes back up 10 points again.
Richmond back up 23-13 now. As Monty said, back on top by 13. Well, with the Giants, Monty, you got to reply now. You got to respond. You got to try to get some of these points back, and somewhere along the line, get a stop and get another turnover.
The Giants have to score on this. They have to score to keep their confidence up. They get the ball, they don't score, and Richmond scores again. We'll get down on ourselves.
Yeah.
We got to keep that mental toughness, but the Giants show did not have it yet here lately this year.
A lot of time left in this football game. Still 4 minutes and 49 seconds to go in the third quarter. Boy, it's a beautiful night here in Marion, Dick Luton Stadium, and of course I don't know if your yard looks like that, but my yard doesn't look as good as that grass. Oh, wait a minute. Of course, a brand new turf field here. Obviously, it's great for football, but it's not just for football. It's been great that they've been able to move both boys and girls soccer back here on campus. And also, for academics, the classroom experience, physical education courses, you have the facility used there. And this is a lot easier to mow, Monty. There's a very short kick taken by the up man at the 36 out to the 39 to 40-yard line. That was Townsend with the carry. So good field position for the Marion Giants.
I'm willing to say I bet they don't wear out too many lawnmowers cutting this grass.
Yeah. Don't have to sharpen the blades any too often. Of course, over the lifespan of this field, you would realize quite a significant savings in terms of what you have to spend in terms of maintenance of a natural grass field. You see Townsend on that kickoff return.
I'm curious to see what kind of maintenance you have to do on this field at the end of the year.
Collins with the inside carry, bounces it for about 8 yards. And so a good pickup for the Giants on first down. That's what they need on first down to get 5, 6, 7, 8 yards. Really gives themselves some options.
Here's the replay. This is a confidence play right here. Marion see they can run the ball like this against the Richmond defense. It'll give them more confidence to do other things.
Trevino's going to try to sneak it up the middle. He's close to that first down, but it looks like he's going to be about a half a yard shy.
Well, his 5'7" frame couldn't have stretched that far. Maybe if he was 6'1", he'd got the first down this then.
Yeah. Lorenzo Trevino, not by any stretch the biggest guy in the field, 5'8", about 145 pounds. Pretty tough kid to be able to tuck it in right into the teeth of a defensive line. Big third down for the Giants. Inside handoff. No, Trevino kept it. No, Collins has it.
Busts out.
Has the seam. 30, 25, 20. Down the sideline. There he goes.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Marion Giants. I have no idea how Will Collins even got that football from Trevino. But once he got on the open, no one's going to touch him. We're in a shootout right now, Monty.
If you see this replay, it looked like there's 3 Richmond Red Devils should have had him. Look there. One had him there. He got away from the Division I recruit from Miami and just took it to the house.
Now I hear some boos, and there's a holding penalty that's been called on the Giants. I did not see that flag. Oh, what a big penalty called there that time. So take the points off the board. And instead of a touchdown, the Giants are going to be back at the 45-yard line. I don't know if we'll see something here or not. Had to be downfield. Are they calling there on the wideout? Wow, there was the flag come flying in, and
it looked like they may have called one of the receivers as he went by.
Boy. Trevino gives it to Collins. Tries to cut it back inside. Well, it was a penalty was at the spot of the infraction, so went back to the 45-yard line, but it was a first down for the Giants. So on that first down, they pick up, no gain actually, and so it'll be a 2nd and 10.
That hurt. That was a nice play there for Will Collins.
I tell you what, you want your receivers out there blocking, sustaining blocking. I'd like to see that replay again, Mason. I thought it looked like a pretty good block. Oh, Trevino's going to eat it back inside the Marion Giants territory, back at the 45-yard line. Big loss on 2nd down.
It looked like all his blocking went to the left, and he went right, and there wasn't nobody there but Richmond Red Devils.
I don't know, were they setting up maybe that screen again? Some kind of screen where they let the defenders in, because they were all over Trevino. He had no chance.
Before he could move what he was going to make, they were right there. You got that right.
Well, 3rd down and 17 now for the Giants after a loss of 7. And the Devils come with a blitz. They dump it off to Collins. It's over his head. And there's a penalty. That's going to give the Giants a 1st down on a personal foul. Either an unsportsmanlike or late hit penalty on the Red Devils.
And watch the replay here. I think because the ball went over his head, he had no chance of catching, and he hit him after the ball went over his head on the ground already.
Now, if he catches the football right there, that's a great tackle. Well, the officials are talking it over.
I'd like to see what they're going to call on this.
Well, the penalty, I think, was on 21 Mayberry. But they're going to wave it off? Nope.
Personal foul.
Well, that's the personal foul hitting the defensive player. Well, and they were talking about what down it's going to be. Instead of a 1st, though, it's going to be 3rd down. That's not an automatic 1st down?
That'll be the first time I've ever seen a personal foul. You don't get automatic 1st down. Might have to look in the rule book for that one.
And Coach Vermillion trying to get a little bit of an explanation there. I don't know if that's how the new rules are, but I've never heard of a personal foul not resulting in a 1st down. Even though it was 3rd and 17. 3rd and 18. Now it's 3rd and what? 3. Trevino under center. Gives it to Collins. Collins is stacked up very near that 1st down marker, but he may be about a foot short, and I think you got to go for it, Monty.
This part of the game, you got to show confidence in your offense that they could get this, whether it's a yard or a foot. You got to go for it. I'm Coach Vermillion. I go for this right here. Show my guys that got confidence in them.
Well, they're not even going to measure it. It is indeed a 4th down and literally inches to go for the 1st.
What do you think they call here? Quarterback sneak or?
I would say Trevino quarterback sneak and just go over. You got to get in. You got to get 2 inches. There's some beef though in the middle of that Richmond defensive line. Where do you pitch it to Collins? Oh, Collins, no. Trevino kept it. Oh, he's tripped up and he's going to lose a yard.
I thought he gave it to Collins. He gave it to Collins. Collins is gone. And he kept it.
The Richmond defense holds, and the Giants will turn it over on downs.
Let's watch the replay here.
And I couldn't see who that was for Richmond, but coming over from the other side there and making tackle from behind, tripping up Trevino. Wow.
Well, that comes with youth.
Well, just moments ago, though, Monty, we thought the Giants had a huge touchdown from Will Collins. The holding penny brings it back. They get new life with a personal foul, but they cannot convert. What a change of momentum here for the Red Devils. Big hole. Down the left sideline to 45, out of bounds at the 30. And that was once again Parker Holland. He's had a huge game.
They're going to have nightmares about these two kids, number 10 and the number 11. They've seen them all night. Parker Hyler and Tyler Rimpinger.
Tell you what, in the Marion Giants defensive line getting pushed around right now by Richmond. Now, as players are running on and off the field all over the place, there's flags on the play.
Penalty called against the
Let's go down to
Giants.
Tim Tedeschi.
All right, Roger, something to watch on this drive is if the defensive players for the Giants can get the call in time. I was hearing on the sideline some players not being able to get the call in time and have been in the wrong position for some different defensive alignments. So definitely something to keep an eye on the rest of this game. Roger, back up to you.
Well, that's just what Tim was talking about, trying to get players on and off the field. An illegal substitution call now against the Giants.
Penalty
And
called
so
against the
that'll
Giants.
give Richmond 5 more yards.
Put the ball on the 25-yard line.
And that'll move it up to the 25-yard line. 8 penalties now in this ball game for the Giants. Falls, dumps it off here in the flat. Got his man wide open at the 20. Gets a block down the sideline.
And there's another flag.
Williams. Oh, no, that was Williams. Who was that? Antonio Brown, the wideout, coming over with that big block.
Here's a replay. Let's see what the referees called. There was a flag thrown on that play.
And is this
He tried to get around in front of him, but he caught him right there on the back of his shoulder pad. That was Will Collins' hit. He was on the sideline here being looked at by the trainers.
Yeah, he took a pretty good shot here. Well, they're lining up, but the injured player is still a little close to the field, so we're going to have to wait a moment.
I'm looking at the scoreboard here, and it says 1st and 5, so I wonder what the flag was on. What happened where they got a 1st and 5-yard line?
We have a injured player with a head injury.
Well, there's going to be a break on the field because still tending to the injured player.
Have a final score for you. Madison Grant 34, Eastbrook 33.
Hey, let's take it down to the field to Tim Tedeschi.
All right, Roger, I heard, the trainers are taking a look at Will Collins right now. I overheard the referee telling the coaches that they are concerned about a helmet injury, looking at his head, and so they're definitely going to take all the necessary precautions for that. Roger, back up to you.
Thank you so much, Tim. And, of course, that's a big loss right now for the Giants. I mean, obviously, well, the space that Will can cover on the defensive end. But offensively, if the Giants are going to, if they're going to put together a comeback here, they're going to need the speed of Will Collins on the field.
Well, you see him there on the sideline. He's grinning and laughing and talking to the trainer, so it doesn't look too serious.
Of course, back in the day, Monty, if that was you there, they'd be like, "You're all right," and they'd put you back in
put you right back on in the game. You keep right on playing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, now, obviously, much more care and concern shown for players with that may have been taking a shot to the head. Here's the Holland handoff one more time. He'll pick up 7 yards over that left side and gets enough for the first down.
I think I might have a nightmare about that kid.
Well, he's
been very impressive this game.
Yeah, not the biggest runner, but he has a knack for finding the hole and finding the cutback.
I like the fact that he runs mostly north and south, keeps his feet moving. And that's what you want from.
Thalls finds Brown in the corner of the end zone for the Richmond touchdown. The second touchdown of the night for Brown, and now the Red Devils have kind of blown this one open a little bit, Monty. 29-13.
Yeah, that holding call hurt Marion. They lost not only 6 points, but they give up 6 points,
Yep.
so that's a 12-point turnaround right there.
And now Smith in for the extra point. The Giants are going to have to try to mount a comeback here with Will Smith out of the. Will Smith. Are you kidding me? Potentially with Will Collins out. But actually, I think
that's him right there on the
field. Yeah, he's back in the ballgame. So checked him out. He's okay and back in the ballgame. Now there's a flag on the extra point attempt. It'll take the Red Devils back 5 more yards. Make it just a little more difficult extra point attempt. This is a big extra point right now, Monty, because it's a 16-point ball game. You know, that's still 2 possessions. And the kick is no good.
Oh, he missed it.
It is no good. And
the Giants
so
still have light.
They do. They catch a little bit of a break there. They get a score, a couple scores and 2-point conversions.
Tie ball game.
You never know. But 29-13 with 37.7 seconds to go here in the third quarter. But you got to think here, Monty, that the Giants need to get a good return. And they can't afford, I don't think at this point, though, not to get some points here and then give up a score to Richmond. They can't fall behind 3 scores and give themselves a chance here.
I'm Richmond. I don't kick it deep. I keep it out of Will Collins' hand. I kick it short.
And that's what they've done this evening. Keeping it short.
And it looks like Coach Vermillion is going to counteract that. They bring Will Collins and Tariq Bates up to the next row.
Yeah. Well, I don't think
they were in the deep row, down there 1 row up.
And I don't think the Richmond kicker could kick it that deep to begin with. Well, we're just about ready here. And this is an onside kick. And it goes out of bounds. Well, that was interesting because it had to go at least 10 yards, and everyone was waiting for it to go 10 yards. And it's Marion Giant football.
Went out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Marion will take over.
Let's take it to Tim Tedeschi down on the field.
Good news down here from the sidelines, Roger. Will Collins has been cleared by the trainers. He was actually back out there in the game for that extra point. So all clear, no concussion symptoms shown, and he's ready to go for the rest of this game.
All right. Thank you very much, Tim. Time for 1 or 2 more plays here in the third quarter. Giants desperate, though, now to get some points back on the scoreboard and try to get the momentum shifted their way as they move into the final quarter.
A nice big play right here. Give them the confidence back that they need to move the ball. You got to eliminate the penalties and move the ball.
Giants have Derek Jones split out wide to the right. Trevino tries to keep it, thought about pitching it, but when he turned it up the field, he was already in the grasp of a defender. And so he'll lose 2 yards.
Sometime being a little too tough. You see the instant replay here.
Second down and 12.
It don't look like we're going to get this last play off here. As the Giants come to the line. They're not in a hurry. That's going to be it.
Well, Torino just looked up and watched the clock expire, and that indeed will be the end of the third quarter. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching the Grant County High School Football Game of the Week on WIWU.
This week on Day Trippin', we head to northern Indiana and tour the city of Valparaiso.
We walk through downtown, sample some delicious ice cream, and visit a railway garden.
And taste the world's best gummies at Albany's Candy Factory.
It's a sweet adventure this week on Day Trippin'.
Your community station, WIWU TV.
At Dick Luton Stadium for the fourth and final. Monty, the Giants got 12 minutes to try to pull off the upset here. Big possession right now. Trevino going deep, and it is picked off.
It looked like he was going to Spencer Reynolds, but Spencer hadn't even got his head turned around yet, looking for the ball.
Was it picked off? I thought it was.
Yes, it's an interception. Referee says Richmond ball.
Well, turnovers really hurt Richmond in the first half, but now in the second half, this one was big for the Giants.
Looked like Spencer Reynolds was running a post. As he made his cut, Lorenzo threw the ball. Spencer never seen it. Now the defense has to hold here.
11:54 just underway here in the fourth quarter. See if the Red Devils maybe try to run some clock or go deep. Thalls pump fake. Yeah, could have been a hold. Thalls on the run, and he'll get it out to the 40-yard line and gets a gain of 3 yards. 2nd and 7.
Marion cannot afford to let Richmond score. Here's the instant replay. Well, there's a hold there.
Yeah.
You got to see that. He grabbed him as he went by.
Malik Smith is being held there. And I thought the official looked right at it, but regardless, 3-yard pickup for Richmond. And Monty, looks like Richmond going to try to keep it on the ground here. Try to run some clock.
The run's been working for him, so instant replay here.
Well, Williams, with that carry that time, he's had a good game. Of course, Parker Holland has carried the ball well for Richmond. We do have a third down, though, 3rd and a long one. Dawes keeps it, and he'll have plenty for the first down as he gets across midfield to the 49 of the Giants.
The Giants' defense has been on the field quite a bit tonight. The guys look like they're exhausted. It takes a toll on you when you can't come off and get you some water, take a break.
And there's probably, 5-6 guys going both ways. 1st and 10 for Richmond. Thalls, he's going to throw it. As time, across the middle, and the pass was incomplete. Surprises me a little bit because Richmond's been running the ball so effectively.
And they're up 16 points.
Yeah, and with the incomplete pass, the clock stops. But I'm old, Monty. I remember the good old days you got up by 3 points, and it's like, run the ball, run the clock. Offense is obviously much more wide open these days.
And keep that clock moving. Keep that clock moving with the lead. You win ball games.
Williams gets a gain of 8 yards out to the 39.
And I think the Giants had to toughen up there in the middle. Richmond looks like they're content in running the ball right up the gut, making the Giants work a little bit.
And now the referee's going to stop the clock. Not sure what that was. Get the ball reset. And we're back in action. Thalls, nice little dump pass out here in the flat. Has his man inside the 35 and down to the 32-yard line. I don't think we've seen that play so far tonight. That's a pretty nifty little play.
Yeah, you got to like the Richmond's play calling. They load the Giants to sleep, running the ball up the middle, then they throw a little dump out to the side there.
That's a pickup of 9 yards. And another Richmond first down. Really good balance between the run and the pass from Richmond tonight.
Look like a well-coached football team. I like to see the two teams that beat them, though.
Oh, that time Thalls held on to the football, and he paid for it as he was hit hard.
Number 77.
DeAndre Hodge.
Yeah. The big junior got him. There's an instant replay here. He tried to get away and ran right into him.
Young man's game. A loss of 3 yards there makes it 2nd down and 13. Here's the pitch to Williams. Oh, he's got a little bit of a wall over there. Good pickup inside the 30 down to the 25-yard line.
Caught from behind by number 43, Ian Reynolds. Another one of that sophomore class we've been talking about all night. The Giants.
You know, when Williams is tackled and goes down, he's always falling forward. He's always getting a couple extra yards. He's like a wrecking ball out there. Well, Thalls kept it and gets it down inside the 15. Well, I don't think very many people thought Thalls kept the football. He doesn't run it very much that time. He has a big gainer.
So he's running down the field there, wearing purple jerseys in the cameras.
Well, it's 1st and 10 for Richmond. Under the 9-minute mark now. Giants barely get the defender off the field. Thalls has a little pressure. Now he's going to eat the football. He's going to be sacked back at the 18-yard line.
That was number 78. Josh Gadd, a freshman on that.
And we have an injured Richmond Red Devil on the play. One of the offensive linemen slow to get up. And looks like they're going to go to work a little bit on that right knee.
So you can't see his number to really see who it is. But if you look at this Giants roster, we've talked about a lot of sophomores and freshmen in this game.
Yeah.
The Giants are going to be good here in years to come.
Well, you know, let's take a look at the replay here one more time. And you can see an offensive lineman just gets rolled up on there. It's not always pretty inside the trenches there. But yeah, Monty, this young team, and we talked at the beginning of the football game in our pregame that it's going to be very important for Marion to take care of the football. And I think actually for the most part, they have. They have the 2 interceptions, but no fumbles in this game at this point for them. They kept it, which has kept them in the ball game at times, but they have struggled on first down to try to get enough yards to really give them some more options of what to do offensively. And defensively, you know, there have been some times where I think they've been able to hang with Richmond's receivers, but they have given up too many big plays.
Yeah, too many big plays. But going back from last week's game with Anderson, I'm impressed with the turnaround.
Yeah.
Looked like they put in some hard work this week at practice, and they're coming out here with a little more, word I'm looking for, resolve, I guess.
Thalls looking to His left has his man right at the hash, inside the 10, complete down to the 6-yard line. So a nice gain of about 6 yards on first down. On second down, so it'll be third. Probably about 3rd and 4 here.
In the Giants' red zone again.
Thalls has 2 receivers to the right, to the left. Has time, fires across the middle, and it is caught. Touchdown. And I believe it's Antonio Brown again, and it is. That's his third
touchdown tonight.
Yes, 3rd touchdown reception of the night for Antonio Brown.
And that's a pass from Josh Smalls to Tyler Richmond for the Red Devils.
Antonio Brown, a big target. Good hands, makes the touchdown. Good throw from Thalls, and now it's a 35-13 ball game, and that might have
sealed the deal.
Yep, put this one out of reach for the Giants. Here's the point in the ball game. I would think, though, Monty, as we wait for the extra point, that if you're the Giants, the extra point is up and good. You've got to find a way to fight through this. Find a way to improve. Find a way to get a little bit better, and get some. See if you can't get some more points on the board.
To get the confidence back in the guys, we have to score some points here. Right now, you look down on that sideline. Heads are down.
But with that touchdown and the extra point, it's 36-13 now, a 23-point Richmond lead. And although the Giants are, of course, they do have the explosive offense in the sense that Will Collins can break it. From the running back position, they're not a high-powered offense that's going to just say, okay, we're going to start throwing it all over the place. $7:38 to go here in the 4th quarter. Giants getting ready to receive the kickoff. Tell you what, though, it's been a fun experience trying to broadcast our first ever football game from Marion High School. Of course, last week, game from Eastbrook. Part of our crew is Tim Tedeschi, and he's down on the field. He's got a word for us. Tim.
Roger, a lot of Giants players with their heads down right now really thought that they could win this game. They had a lot of momentum going into that second half, but all that momentum is gone as this game is all but over. Looks like a lot of players have given up, and the coaches are pretty frustrated with the effort in the second half.
For the Red Devils.
Well, here's Smith, approaches the football. Short kick, and taken up by one of the up men coming out to the right side.
That's Cedric Johnson.
It is across the 35, across the 40, and the tackle continues all the way out of bounds near the bench. And then Tyrus Bell, who made the tackle, decided he better get out of that situation.
I was looking for a flag myself. They were good 3-4 yards out of bounds, and he still took him to the ground. There's a replay right here.
Well, he made contact with the runner, good 3-4 yards in bounds. It just carried out of bounds. And so the Giants will have it first down and 10 from the 44-yard line.
Let's see what the Giants coaching staff comes up with. We have to get some points here.
Well, nowhere going on that inside handoff to Johnson. We've not seen that play too much in the second half. Maybe once or twice, but it's been pretty difficult for that fullback to get any kind of yardage against this defensive line of Richmond.
Our front five have to make contact with the man in front of them. Whether you're zone blocking or not, you still have to make contact with that man in front of you. You can't run by him.
That pass across the middle is caught.
Xavier Fuller.
Xavier Fuller, who had the big reception earlier for the touchdown.
First time we called his name in a while. A nice grab as we watch the replay here.
Taking the ball up to the
Trevino had to put that in a pretty tight spot.
You got to give it to the young man. He's got confidence in his arm.
That pickup was enough for a first down, be 1st and 10. And now Giants, do they have too many men on the field? They might have to call timeout. Well, the coaches were jumping up and down, trying to get a man off the field. And they're lucky there wasn't a turnover there.
We had too many men on the field. They're trying to get a player out the field. He never did make it out the field. He stopped on the end.
Well, and the whistle blew right before the snap. But that could, excuse me, that could have been. Well, wait for the mark off here. 5-yard penalty makes it 1st and 15. And that does play into that consistency we were talking about earlier. You had a nice play, you pick up the first down, but then you march it back 5 more yards. Under pressure, Trevino's going to be hit. Oh, he gets away from him.
Got away from him.
Now he's going to dump it off to Collins. Slips one tackler at the 30, 25, at the 20, and down at the 17-yard line.
That was a nice play by that young man. He didn't give up. Slipped a couple tackles, got in the open, dumped it off to his lightning quick running back, and got a good pickup here.
Trevino has been hurried almost all night, and he's done that a number of times where he's gotten away from the defender and made something positive happen.
I think Richmond may have got away with a face match just there as Collins was going to the ground.
Well, the Giants putting together a little bit of a drive here now, have it 1st and 10. Here's this toss out to left side. At the 10, turning it up at the 5, still on his feet. And into the end zone for the touchdown is Xavier Fuller.
That's that man's second touchdown.
Well, Xavier Fuller carried a defender into the end zone, and the Giants are on the board once again, 36-19. I'll tell you what, I don't think you expect that Xavier Fuller is going to carry a whole lot of guys. He's not the biggest guy in the field, but showed some pretty good strength there.
Yes, he did.
The Giants are going to go for 2 here now.
They got him listed as 6'3", 160.
Trevino dumps it off and incomplete. That might have even been a lateral. But the conversion is unsuccessful. So the score remains 36-19. But, Monty, I tell you what, credit to Marion Giants right there. After giving up the touchdown to Richmond, they come back and put together maybe their best drive of the night and get the touchdown back. And pretty good effort there from a team that could have gave up a little bit, but instead they put together a good drive.
He had a previous play before the touchdown. Lorenzo, he slipped a few tackles, made a big play.
Yep.
Looked like the offense rallied behind him when he done that, and they picked up enough for another touchdown.
Well, you're absolutely right. That play that could have been a 10-yard loss for Trevino ends up being a big pickup, the biggest play of the drive. Puts the Giants in scoring position, and they convert with the touchdown pass to Xavier Fuller.
Well, let's see, do Richmond put out their hands offense, because you're sure Marion's going to kick onside.
Well, we've already seen a few crazy things on kickoffs tonight. They were successful on the one onside kick. Of course, Richmond attempted the onside kick. That was unsuccessful. That's some short kicks.
I think the Giants have a little advantage because Luke Oliver is a varsity soccer player, and he knows how to work that ball with his foot.
Well, you can see Richmond bringing up 9 players within 7 yards of the 50. They're definitely looking for the onside kick.
Marion's lined up like they're going to onside kick. You got Will Collins and Tyreek Bates on the side. He's kicking the ball.
Well, and the good hands man.
And that's not an understatement.
No, Rippinger, who's had an outstanding night receiving, did the right thing. I love it when we see a guy do that. He doesn't wait for the ball to come to them. Kind of like a shortstop. He goes and gets it. Gets it on the hop that he wants it. Monty, if he waits on that ball, it takes another crazy hop, maybe hits off the shoulder pad or something like that.
Good heady play by that young man. That was a good observation, shortstop. I like that.
Well, here's a handoff on first down.
Parker Holland again.
Pickup of about 3 yards on that play. It's 2nd down and 7. Dolls has had a really nice football game, and then you see Holland, who has as well, with the carry. Dolls look to go deep. It's picked off at the 35. Still on his feet at midfield. Down inside the 50-yard line at the 48.
Ian Reynolds,
yeah, I was just going to say, Ian Reynolds for the Giants with the interception.
That sophomore class for the Giants looked very promising.
And that's the first really bad throw that Dolls has had all night. He's throwing the ball really well. I don't know, did his arm get hit or just let him throw it?
Looked like the defender hit his arm as he was getting ready to release it. But with a 17-point lead, I'm kind of curious as what the Richmond coaching staff is thinking about throwing the ball.
I was just thinking that myself, Monty. I mean, Bo Schembechler would not be happy. Said there's 3 things that can happen when you throw the football, and 2 of them are bad. Incompletion or an interception.
Bo Schembechler, you're telling our age here.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Giants looking to make something happen. Here's Trevino rolling to the right. Gets it to Will Collins. A little bit of a gain there as he picks up 2 yards. Maybe 3 down to the 47. A little extracurricular activity after the play.
Nice little conservative dump-off play.
That is not an easy throw and catch right there. Even though it's 3 yards, that was not an easy play.
3 yards is better than a QB sack any day.
We talked about Trevino. He hasn't had a lot of time. He's been under pressure, but he stayed in there and made some pretty good throws.
You got to give that little guy A for guts. He don't give up. He's right in there.
On the roll. Dumps it short. Knocked out of bounds. Incomplete that time by Sanders, the Richmond defender. So the Giants now will look at a 3rd and 7.
Derek Jones, intended receiver.
Approaching the 4-minute mark here. A big upset. Well, I shouldn't say a big upset. A big win for Madison Grant, though, tonight. Another Grant County football action as they defeat Eastbrook. That is a big matchup. And now Oak Hill, though, we're hearing with the big 48-0 victory against Blackford. Here's a blitz, screen coming, and
looked like it was batted down at the line of scrimmage.
They had that screen set up. If that pass gets through, there's a whole lot of running room.
As you watch the instant replay.
Well, with 4 minutes and 2 seconds to go, the Giants trailing 36-19. they're going to go for it. The ball at the 47-yard line of Richmond. A little different formation here. 3 wideouts, split to the left. Trevino under pressure, and he's going to be sacked back at the 45-yard line. He needed some time for that play to develop, and he just didn't have it.
That's the big defensive lineman, Nathan Trewick. That's a lot of guy coming down on Lorenzo just then, 300-pounder.
I think they call that big boy football right there. Well, and he's been creating havoc all night long in the interior of that defense for Richmond. And one-on-one, he wasn't going to be stopped. Well, the Richmond Red Devils will take over possession of the football. They'll have it 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. Handoff inside. Parker Holland breaks a couple tackles, still on his feet, and gets the big gainer inside the 30-yard line down to the 27.
They lined up in the shotgun. I actually like to know how many yards that young man has ran the ball tonight. Give it to him again. He bounces it to the outside.
And now a penalty flag comes flying in. It looks like that'll be a hold against Richmond, and it is.
In the backfield.
Not sure who that penalty was on. .3:14 to go here in regulation, here in the 4th quarter.
I have to applaud Marion's defense. Other than a couple of big plays here and there, they played pretty good game tonight.
And a couple times, Thalls just made incredible throws. Rippinger with a couple big catches. Holland gets the hand up once more, and he could be off the races at the 15 and drugged down from behind inside the 10.
Alex Blackburn, the sophomore, caught him from the back. He's had a couple touchdown-saving tackles tonight.
I don't know how many yards Richmond has had, because the Giants, it's significantly over 400 yards at this point, but the Giants have been able to come up with a couple big stops, a couple turnovers that kept them in this ball game for a while, especially in the first half. The game might have gotten out of hand. That time they did a good job of stopping Holland.
Met him at the line of attack this time.
Well, with that loss, it's back to 2nd and 10, second goal. Here's the dump off in the flat at the 5 and into the end zone for the touchdown. And let's see who that was for Richmond. That was 18. Jordan Christian. So let's see.
Watch the replay.
And he was lined up in the slot. Came over in motion and was wide open and just beat his man to the corner of the end zone.
Oh, that was number 18 there.
Oh, that was 18, okay.
Yeah, Brendan Haig.
Brendan Haig with the Richmond touchdown, and now it is a 42-19 ball game. Smith in for the extra point. The ball is up, and the kick is good, and that'll make it a 43-19 Richmond lead.
Well, we knew that score wasn't going to last in the first half. We just wished it would have turned around for Marion.
Yeah. Well, was there no scoring in the first quarter?
0-0 at the end of the first quarter, you're correct.
And then Richmond was able to get to safety. They took the 9-0 lead. Marion, though, came back with a touchdown, made it 9-6, but they never got in a position where they could get tied up, maybe even take a lead. try to put Richmond in a position where, the momentum had swung, and when Richmond was really feeling some of the pressure, and Richmond has done a good job in the second half not turning over the football and taking control. Well, we certainly want to remind you that next week, our high school football game of the week here in Grant County will be Mississinawa versus Eastbrook. Will be in Gas City to watch the Indians take on the Panthers. Game time 7 o'clock. Of course, our broadcast will be 11 p.m. that night. And, of course, we'll be replaying it throughout the week several times on WIWU-TV. You can catch our full schedule at WIWU-TV.com. Well, that'll be an interesting game next week. Mississinawa, I think, with a win tonight. But Eastbrook dropping that one to Madison Grant.
And it's going to be playing another county school, so they're going to come out for blood. So that will be a real good game over in Gas City.
Well, Jones picks up that squib kick and gets it out across the 35, out to the 39-yard line. And so the Giants, 2 minutes, 11 seconds to go. Maybe look to do something with what could be their last drive of the football game.
End it with a score. Giants get a score here. End it with a score. Don't never give up.
Tell you what,
live by their motto, GFND. Giants fight, never die. They score here.
And Trevino will lead the Giants up to the line here. As his back split, drops straight back. And he was looking on that left flat. Was that tipped and caught?
Bounced off of Jones, and Xavier Fuller catches it behind him.
What in the world? I thought that one's going to go flying out of bounds, incomplete, and somehow the Giants come up with the 8-yard gain. We'll see if we can catch it on a replay. Well, Fuller with another reception. He's had a couple big plays here in the second half.
The young man has a real good game. A couple touchdowns, few catches.
Trevino rolls, stops, throws. Oh, he had his man breaking open. I think that was Spencer Reynolds. They didn't have, I think Trevino needed just about another half a second or so to let Spencer Reynolds come a little bit more open, but the pressure was getting to him. So
2-minute warning.
Exactly 2 minutes to go. The Giants will be looking at 3rd and 2.
The Giants have triples on this side. Xavier Fuller on the outside. Derek Jones in the middle. Tariq Bates playing the slot.
Trevino rolling to right. Has the first down. And more as he gets across midfield and inside the 45. Down to the 43-yard line. Tough run there from Lorenzo Trevino. Picks up the Marion first down.
Watch the instant replay here. I'll give you a little factoid about that young man. Lorenzo is a boxer at the Grant County Boys and Girls Club.
Really?
Yes, sir. If I'm not mistaken, I think he won Golden Gloves this year. So he's a tough little guy.
Rolling on his right, tries to dump it off here to Derek Jones, but again under pressure. Trevino been under pressure all night, but of course now the Richmond, knowing that they're going to throw the football, can just sell out to the pass. Hey, goal. I don't know about you, Monty, but that was too close to being a soccer play. Here's a reverse. Got a little bit of running room on the left side. Is Bates. 25 inside the 20 and knocked out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Well, pretty good job of execution there that time by the Giants, and it gets the big gainer.
And I think that's only the second time we ran that play tonight.
Bates gets the first down. Run out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Giants have a minute 25 to see if they can't get one more score on the board. Trevino firing it towards the end zone, and there's the pass interference. He was looking for Spencer Reynolds, and I don't know that was the greatest pass, but clearly Reynolds was being held. Well, that was Bain with the pass interference. So let's see. I don't know if it was that pass interference in the end zone? No, it'll be half a distance to the goal.
It looks like it's going to be spotted on the 2-yard line.
So
7-yard line.
The Giants will have a first down still. Trevino runs it option right, turns it upfield, spins
touchdown.
And goes into the end zone, touchdown. Lorenzo Trevino leads the Giants on a touchdown drive here and takes it into the end zone and makes it 43-25, extra point to come. Well, tough run there from Lorenzo Trevino. What are you talking about? You're talking about me, a boxer. And he's shown his toughness here tonight. No doubt about it. Well, they're going to go for 2 here. He's going to throw for it. It's batted away, though incomplete. And so, minute 15 to go. The Giants will kick it off to Richmond. Now, I'm going to be surprised if Richmond throws the football again. Well, maybe not. You never know, though, the way teams put up points anymore. They could have a couple more touchdowns before in the final minute 15.
Come on. 9-6, halftime score.
Yeah. A whole lot of scoring here in the second half. The Giants got into a little bit of a shootout here with Richmond, and
a couple times Richmond scored and we didn't. That's the difference in the ball game.
But hopefully we may have a chance to get some stats at the end of this one. But between these two teams, I wouldn't be surprised if we had 800 yards of offense.
It's going to be quite a bit. Now that you mention it, I'm curious to see how much Parker Holland has rushed on the ground.
Oliver to kick off for
He's
the
been
Giants.
a virtual workhorse tonight.
8 touchdowns scored in this second half of this ballgame. 8 touchdowns in one half. Well, Oliver gets a good kick away, kicks it deep, and it'll go back in the end zone. It'll be a touchback.
The Red Devils will begin at
You kind of wondered would the Giants maybe try to execute another onside kick, but with a minute 15 and the Giants down 43-25, obviously a comeback is, if not improbable, maybe impossible. But that Giants defense will go back on the field and
let's see the Richmond run out the clock, or do they do something outrageous and throw the ball?
I think we're going to see a heavy dose of Holland and Williams if they're even in the ball game.
Looking in the backfield, I see neither one of them. I don't even see Hollis out here.
No, we got a new quarterback. For Josh Stahls out. Let's see, I cannot see the number. Give the inside handoff. Pickup of about 4 yards. Yeah, now something stopped the clock. There's a timeout on the field, I guess. And the Giants have called timeout. take a look at this replay.
Marion calls timeout.
Still couldn't tell who that new quarterback was.
And I'm not really sure why the Giants call a timeout here, other than they just want to, something on defense they didn't like, or they want to see, or they want to execute better, and this is their, opportunity to practice a little bit more.
I think he's telling them not to give up the big play and give up another score. Stay focused and still got to play defense. We won't want to do nothing crazy and give up a long pass or a long break. Hard-fought game tonight. A play here, play there. Giants could have been in the lead.
Well, as we mentioned, after a slow first half, especially first quarter, these offenses exploded, especially that of Richmond here in the second half. Once again, inside handoff. And under a minute to go now here in this game. And Giants call another timeout, and they do. So one more timeout for the Marion Giants.
I finally got the number on that new quarterback. It's number 26, Blake Van Landingham. He's a 6-foot sophomore here in the program. He's a small guy, 140 pounds.
Yeah, and our vantage point here is not a bad view, but just with some of the structures in the window and then just the distance, some of those letters are not the easiest to make out from up here.
And the Richmond Red Devils, I'm looking at their jerseys, their numbers are real small.
Yeah.
So it's real hard to see from this vantage point.
All righty. Ready for one more snap. They run the option to the right side. There's the pitch. Runner, now he'll run out of bounds and stop the clock, but he did pick up the first down.
That looks like number 7, Thomas Stanley, another sophomore. So Richmond has put in their reserves.
Well, it'll be first down after that gain. I kind of believe if you're the coaching staff for Richmond at that time, you're watching film and you're like, love the run, but as soon as you get that first down, you got to stay in bounds, keep the clock running. And now Richmond's going to line up to take a knee. And that should do it. You might have to snap it one more time. See how long it takes the officials to.
Marion, no more timeouts. So Richmond's going to let the clock run. Referee spotted the ball. They're lining back up. This should be the last time to take a knee right here.
And it indeed will be the last play of the game as the Devils take the snap, take the knee, and they'll let the clock run out. A very explosive second half of football here from these teams, especially from the Richmond Red Devils. And what was a 9-6 ball game at the half?
Yes, sir.
Ends up being 43-25 your final score. Richmond on top of the Marion Giants. And a big win for the Richmond Red Devils. They stay alive in the North Central Conference race. Well, we're going to take a break here on WIWU. We'll be back to wrap this one up from Marion High School.
We appreciate your Giant pride.
This week on Perspectives, we're talking about the Mississinawa Valley Band, and our guest will be John Brain, who is the director and also one of the founders of the band. It's been 15 years since the Mississinawa Valley Band performed its first concert, and the people are still showing up in record numbers to hear the band. I'm Alan Miller. Join us this week as we explore a new perspective.
At Marion High School, where your final score is the Richmond Red Devils 43, the Marion Giants 25, here on the WIWU Grant County High School football game of the week. And as the Giants take a knee there at midfield, I'm kind of listening with my other ear. And Jim Brunner down the way, he unofficially has the Richmond Red Devils with 582 yards of total offense. And you got to believe about 400 of that came alone here in the second half. And that's what I think the Giants wanted Monty to, stay in this football game, give themselves an opportunity. They did that in the first half, but credit the Red Devils. They really blew this thing open in the second half.
They controlled the momentum in the middle. They controlled the game in the trenches, so to speak.
And over 900 yards. We're sneaking a peek over here at Jim Brunner, but over 900 yards of total offense. That's crazy. That's kind of reminiscent of Madison Grant last year. Let's take a look at some of the stats. There you see, of course, our final score. 280. Now, of course, these stats are unofficial. 280 yards passing for Richmond. The Giants picked up 229 yards passing, and Monty, they did a pretty good job. Trevino did throwing the football here, especially in the second half.
But look at that rushing differential. 298 yards rushing.
To only 112. And obviously that is the
difference of the game.
Yeah, that's the difference of the ball game. The Marion Giants really inability to consistently run the football, and really they weren't able to stop Richmond's running attack, and that was very that was really the story of the football game there. First downs, now 30 to 15, obviously twice as many first downs for Richmond as what the Giants were able to accumulate. There you see the fumbles and the turnovers. Richmond did not turn the football over in the second half. In the first half, Monty, they had those 4 turnovers that kept the Giants in the ballgame. They corrected that error in the second half.
The only thing you see missing here from these stats is time of possession.
Yeah. And you mentioned that the Giants' defense, I think, wore down in the second half, and you start chasing, Holland around and Williams around, and the receiver.
Brown and Rippinger.
Yeah, Rippinger, Brown. I mean, you're chasing those guys around for an entire night. It's going to wear you down. But maybe even more than anything, all those things are a result of what's happening inside in the trenches. And I think Richmond definitely won the battle inside in the trenches. I thought Marion at time showed some improvement there, and showed some times where they did some good things, but I mean, Richmond probably just a little too much inside.
They looked a little stronger than the Giants did tonight, but that goes with age.
Yeah.
Richmond's roster is full of seniors and juniors, and the Giants lineup is full of sophomores and freshmen. So we got a nice junior class in here. We don't have very many seniors. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 seniors, 14 seniors on our roster.
Let's talk a little bit about Lorenzo Trevino in this game. We talked at the outset that, as a quarterback, you have to make good decisions. Hey, we're going to take it down to the field real quick as Tim Tedeschi has Marion Giant down there. So we're going to take it down to Tim Tedeschi.
All right, Roger, we're here with quarterback Lorenzo Trevino. Lorenzo, tough loss, but You guys really came out and gave it a good fight. What did you think the key was for the offense tonight?
We just need to keep going with our drives. The passing game still needs work. So is the running. We just need to keep on working hard in practice.
Coach talked before the game about playing more consistently on offense, eliminating the turnovers. How did you think you guys did on that tonight?
Tonight, I think we actually did pretty good. Wide receivers and including me as sophomores, I think we're doing pretty good. We just need to switch the mistakes to something positive.
Yeah, and you guys really fought all the way to the end. Was that something Coach was pressing with you guys on the sideline to keep pushing and playing to the whistle?
Yeah, we just got to keep playing to the whistle, because if not, things happen just like this, We just need to keep at it at practice. I think we got a great team,
And what do you think you guys have to improve the most going into the next game to get a conference victory?
Work harder, study our plays, study on film, just get better. We'll do pretty good.
All right, thanks, Lorenzo. Back to you guys, Roger.
All right, thank you very much, Tim Tedeschi. And we were talking about Lorenzo. I thought that young man played a pretty good football game. He stuck his nose in there, Monty. He took some big hits. I thought he threw the football pretty well at times. Had a good game running the football, made good decisions, and he didn't turn the football over. I think they had the one interception that he threw, but I thought the young man played a pretty good football game this night against the Red Devils.
A credit to his mental toughness. If you'd have told me 2 years ago that playing 8th grade that he was going to be the starting varsity quarterback in his sophomore year, I would have told you you're crazy.
All right, we're going to go back down to the field, and one more time to Tim Tedeschi.
Thanks, Roger. We're here with wide receiver Tyrese Bates. And what did you think of your guys' offensive performance tonight?
We just need to be more consistent, focus on the game, and block more.
And you guys really tried to spread the ball out more, kind of get to the corners. Is that something you guys are going to look to do the rest of the season?
Yes, we're going to focus on trying to get to the sideline, try to go for the score.
And what do you think you guys have to do to play a more consistent game throughout?
We just got to play the whole 4 quarters, play the whole 48 minutes, and stay focused through the whole game.
All right, thank you so much. We'll send her back up to you, Raj.
All right, back up here. Monty, we're going to take it back down the field here in just a minute to Tim Tedeschi. We certainly appreciate his work down there. We appreciate these Giants coming and talking to us after the game. So back down to Tim. Actually, we're going to keep it up here. I want to talk a little bit, though, about the defensive side of the football for the Giants. I mean, you give up, 570, 80 yards. You're going to say, they didn't play good defense. But there was flashes. There were times in there where you saw them trying to do the right things. But you got to credit Richmond. They came up with some really big plays.
Really big plays. 3 running backs that I can recall get 298 yards. That's a lot of grounds on the yard on the ground. And the Giants, in my opinion, I think they need to step up in the middle a little bit more. Mm-hmm. I don't know what you do to get them tougher in the middle at this time of the year. Lift weights, but you lift weights all summer.
Yeah.
But that goes back to mental toughness. When you go out on the field, you got to be mentally prepared to fight a war.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what you have to fight a war. You got to leave it all on the field. When you leave the field, you go home, you should be ready to go to sleep.
Well, you mentioned kind of that Giants logo, Giants fight, never die. I don't think they gave up tonight. They were in the ball game. Then they got down to, the 2 touchdowns. They kept coming at them, and they kept, working and putting drives together. Even towards the end of the game there, getting that final touchdown drive. Taking a look at some of the highlights of the second half, started out great for the Giants. They had the momentum going into that locker room at the half, and then, they get the onside kick, and so things are looking pretty good here for the Giants. But just as soon as momentum came to the Giants, it went right back to Richmond with that interception. That was maybe the one example of poor decision from Trevino, but like I said, he made pretty good decisions.
He had a very good game tonight. Sophomore, like I said, 2 years ago he was in the 8th grade. Now he's playing varsity football. He's going to make mistakes. So you expect him to come out here just because he's on the varsity football team and not make some mistakes. You got to realize he's in the 10th grade. He's a 16-year-old young man, and he's going to make mistakes.
Well, Richmond was able to respond, and here was that touchdown run from Holland. Really started putting things out of reach. The Giants, though, kept fighting. That was a big run there from Will Collins, but that was a killer play because it was called back because of the penalty.
And I think that was the turning point of the game right there, because the Giants scored there. They'd have been down, 6 points?
Yeah. All right, well, Monty, that is the story of the ball game, and we certainly appreciate you being with us tonight. It's been a privilege covering the Marion Giants here from Dick Luton Stadium. We thank you all at home for joining us, and we certainly want to invite you to tune into next week when we have Eastbrook at Mississinawa. That'll be next week's Grant County High School football game of the week here on WIWU. For Monty Smith, I'm Roger Alcock. For the rest of the WIWU crew.
They say the eyes are the windows to the soul. But what of these eyes and these souls? Next, we'll see just what it took for these cats to earn their stripes. And spots. And show how one lady is using dogs to save cats. And then head to Kenya for an up-close encounter with lions. On foot. This lion is looking at me right in the eyes. From pumas to panthers.